Come with me now on another adventure. No need to worry, I'll be your mentor. Before we get going on this wonderful trip, gotta stop at the Roost and you better leave a tip. Say hello to my friends at the bar. When you come to this place, they know who you are. Pouring some shots, meet a new friend. Just when you thought that...
We got
Showtime. There it is. Oh! Whoa, look at this Viking.
What's up?
What has happened? Did you bring your hammer, sir?
Yeah, it's in my pants.
That's awesome. So, what are you drinking there, Stu?
I'm gonna get started off with a I went sour yesterday.
You went sour. You're really angry.
Yeah, I'm very angry. I was Celtic angry. And then I went to the Stellar nonetheless, but we went to a weekends only. And of course, as we pulled up, I said, "Do you think they're open?" And I bought some of that.
Oh wow, triple berry.
Wow. Triple berry. One's not enough. Two's not enough. Triple berry. So that's for Papa Pete. So unfortunately, they don't have the stuff that he got. I mean, I wish I could get some of that. Wow, is this a lot of stuff going on here already in the chat?
Oh, we got Lance in here too.
Hokey smokies.
Bear with me. It's my first time.
Ooh, you're a Belgian.
Jeff, what are you drinking? I see something behind you, but I believe that's a picture of Tab. Who knew? He's a Tab fan as well. We all really are.
Now, if only I had that little piece from Back to the Future.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You got to get the.
We got to get you that soundbite, bro. I'll get you that soundbite.
It's like, what do you need? I can't give you a Tab unless you order something. Well, give me a Pepsi free.
If you get a Pepsi, you're gonna pay for it.
You're gonna pay for it, pal. That's so funny.
What's with the life preserver?
Hey, I'm not all blurry tonight. Look at that.
Hey, we're all looking pretty good. Watch as the power goes.
Yeah, I was telling Chuck we have a storm coming today.
Right.
Really soon.
Oh my God. Well,
that's
officially
me.
Welcoming Go Game Go on DJC Game Studios. So
Sup. I'm kind of chilly here today. I got my
I see that.
My Steelheart camo shirt on, and
it wasn't too bad out today. I think it was almost like I think it was like high 40s, almost 50 earlier today. But then as it goes down, it goes back down to like the 30s or something. But
you said as it goes down.
Well, that's what I was telling Jeff. I was like, one day it'll be 80 and you're sunbathing, and then the next morning it's 3 feet of snow. And oh, look at here. Well, it's best to do the let's see, where's my tab update? All right, that was weird. All right, Shannon, a good friend of mine and a subscriber to the channel. Thank you. If you haven't subscribed, do now. She got me 3 cases of Tab.
My goodness.
Come on, dude. That's love right there, man.
I tell you, that is pure love, and I cannot wait. I get to see her and the Tab on Saturday. So thank you, Shannon.
Is she pretty?
Did you get the WKRP DVD set? Yeah.
I almost asked. Did it come, Jeff?
Uh-oh. I'm going to be drinking a Sam Adams Alpine Lager.
Oh, fantastic.
Fantastic.
You know, we have to get some, I got to get me oh, that's sexy, bro.
Oh, wow.
Wait a minute. Do you feel like you're part of the club now?
I do. It just came in today.
I do. Oh, that warms my heart.
I've only been waiting since Christmas, but it's finally here. It's an early St. Patrick's Day miracle.
Now that's the one that has. It's supposed to have what 60% of the original music, correct?
Yeah. Unlike
that's better than the.
I don't know if they released all of the seasons before, but they released season 1 for sure. And as soon as it started, the wrong music was in place. I was like, "What is this? This is no good.
What is happening here?"
I'd like to say this is my first beer of the day, but I went out to lunch with my mom around noon, and I had a couple of Blue Moons. So I wasn't like drinking all day. I did take a great nap though. I'll tell you what.
Under the table.
Yeah, she don't really. Well, she does. She'll drink like wine sometimes, or that's about. I think about her speed, just wine.
I have a little
I'm
wine
a beer
today.
person.
I have a little wine I'm sharing with my wife in my new.
Oh, nice. Oh my God, that's amazing. Now, is that like pewter and steel? And I mean, that's obviously not just plastic, right? That looks like it's steel.
No, it's not. It's like resin and probably aluminum.
Still really cool, though. I mean, that looks like it's made of like a heavy steel.
Right. So I'm like, yeah, I'm down. It looks cool. That's all that matters. I don't need to spend $1 million freaking dollars.
You should take the stickers off the bottom. So
he's got the
more authentic.
Watch the clips of the real music.
What are you talking? You'd go on Hee Haw and pull her price tag off the hat? Is that what you're saying?
Mini Pearl? Yeah.
Yeah. Get your hands off of that.
Oh my goodness.
Mini Pearl was ahead of her time.
She was.
B. Arthur was ahead of her time.
She's obviously my idol.
More music and less Nessman. That is still one of my favorite things, man. Oh
man,
that is amazing. Well, hey, we got a few topics here. Let's dive into one of them. See if I can do this right.
A bloop.
What is each of your favorite arcade memory? Going into an arcade back in the day when there was arcades, and what game drew your attention and or your quarters?
You know what? Can I have 3?
Absolutely.
Okay, because there's 3 things that I totally remember. Jeff, do you have 1 or a million?
I've got one. Well, I got a couple, I guess I can say.
That's what I mean. There's.
I got at least. I have 2, maybe 3. I mean, I could go like 10, but I mean, I'm just gonna. I'll whittle it down. That's what she said.
And you're like, just be gentle. Don't hurt the hammer. Do you want to go, Jeff? Go ahead. You
go first, Jeff.
If you give one,
if you want,
and then I'll give one, and we'll just go around the loop.
I know when we were in grade school for like a little class trip thing, we went to a roller rink just to goof off for an afternoon. And I'm not into roller skating, so I didn't really want to go. But when I got there, they had an Asteroids cabinet there.
Oh.
And so while everyone was roller skating, I spent the entire time playing Asteroids. And it was the best time.
You took all your skate money.
Roller rinks always had the coolest arcades because they usually had a smaller arcade, so they had to fill it with quality stuff. See, mine had a sit-down Spy Hunter, and I did basically the same thing. I was like wearing skates, trying to hit the pedals. I'm like, I'd rather sit here and play this. That is awesome. Asteroids. That's one I always wanted for my arcade. They get up there though.
Well, Asteroids goes along with one of mine too. Go ahead, Jeff.
Oh, just about 20 feet away from me, Chuck, right here to my right is an Asteroids Deluxe cocktail table.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm jealous. That is so amazing.
I had never played Asteroids Deluxe, to be honest. I only played Asteroids, but I like Deluxe even better because it has those weird triangle shapes. So when you hit them, they split apart and then they all just chase you. So it forces you have to get out of that middle. You have to learn to
Yeah, and that's still got
move.
the vector monitor, correct? That's
Yeah. I mean, it looks exactly the same as Asteroids. It's just it adds that one little feature. But I thought it made it a whole lot better. We got it from a local guy here. He's selling arcade cabinets out of his garage. He had a whole bunch of them.
What?
That's awesome, man. That's kind of what I do.
You need to tell me this.
So.
Yeah, it's called. He has a store. Well, he had a store. I don't know if it's still around, but it's called Arcades and More in Florissant.
Okay.
And at the time when I bought it, this was oh my god, it's like 25 years ago.
Oh,
he had an ex-Atari employee. I think it was an Atari employee. Well, either way, he used to fix Atari arcade games for a living, and so he just had this guy. I guess he'd pay him some money every so often to fix stuff, and so he'd get some of these arcade games up and rolling. Yeah, stuff.
So was this guy from Atari? Was he like really kind of simple and pixelated, or what?
Just one big pixel.
He like stood. How they stood like this sideways.
Yeah,
with the feet out the bottom there.
I was like the basketball game, or like one stiff leg and then one leg was
That's what I was thinking of as basketball. Oh, it's so awesome.
That's kind of how I am. One stiff leg and then one just kind of going.
That's why Intellivision had that cool running, man. It was like the most realistic running kind of, because Atari just had little stick figures, you know?
Like it's like reality.
It's so real.
Well, I have one of mine goes along with Asteroids, because I used to go, and I've mentioned this on our show before, but I used to go to a dairy shop that was near my house because there was a really cute woman that worked there. And so not like I ever had a chance, but she was cute. And so I'd go there to see her and then hang out because they had an Asteroids machine. But next to it, they had New York, New York. And have you ever seen that at all?
That's the name of a game?
Yeah, you can
New
actually
York?
see it. You could see it on YouTube. Look up New York, New York, and it has the whole game play. But it was basically kind of a Galaxian Space Invaders kind of feel, but things would fly in. So in the background, there was the Statue of Liberty and the cityscape, and then off to the side would come in these ships in different formations, and you had to shoot them. So New York, New York was there, but then tied to Asteroids, I would get over and play that too. And I flipped the game over. Played the crap out of that game. And I flip it over, and my buddy unplugs the machine.
Oh my God.
I finally got it to flip over the score, and he unplugs the machine. I'm like, I don't know if I want you to live right now.
Wow.
It's like, I can't believe you did that.
Yeah, I'm watching that game right now. It's pretty cool looking.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. So it's almost like it's like you're defending New York from an alien invasion, apparently.
Exactly. But that's one thing I love about YouTube is finding all those old games and watching them.
This is like this is long before Galaga. This is 1980. Yeah, it's really cool.
That's a good. That's what I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear something obscure, something different that I'd never heard of.
Yeah.
Did you have any other ones, or was that kind of your?
We do, but I thought we'd go around the horn since we all kind of had one or two or three.
Yeah.
What's one of yours?
I think mine. It always goes back to this one. It always goes back to Yair Kung Fu by Konami. It was kind of like the premise to the very first kind of fighting style game, almost like a Street Fighter.
Okay.
So you had like a little dude, his name was Oolong, and he was like your main like karate dude. And this came out in I think 85 or 86. Yeah. And then you had to fight like all these like different like karate people. You had like a guy with a nunchuck, and you had with Chinese stars, and
I remember that.
Yeah, and then you had the big fat dude that flew at you, and like his name was Chu. And then eventually you go and you meet, I think is your brother, and you got to beat him, and that's like the end of the game. And I used to actually have it here, and I flipped it like twice. You know, like meaning like the not the score, but the I won the game twice over, but it gets so hard. But that's one of my main, and I guess my other one would be, and I got more, but I'll just make it quick. But my other one is Mr. Do, which is what everyone thinks sometimes mistakes for Dig Dug, but it's kind of, you're a little clown with a ball, and you shoot it through the maze, and it comes back to you like a boomerang, and then it plays that music. It's like dun, 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 dun. It's like, to me, that's like, I don't know, it's just one of my favorites.
Wow. Jeff, what would you say is that's so? But thank you for saying the Kung Fu game, dude.
That was like, and it's very obscure too. Like, I mean, I guess to a point. I mean, it's Konami, but it's just one of those things a lot of people forget about.
Totally forgot about that game. I loved that game.
I love the sounds, the music, everything in that game.
Yes. I'm gonna have to check that out. Jeff, what's one of your other ones?
I don't know if you guys had one in your town, but we used to have a Shakey's Pizza here back in the 70s.
Yep.
Maybe 80s. And it was cool because you'd go, and the one by us, they had a window where the guy would stand there throwing the pizza around.
Oh, that's
and they had like almost like a little tiny bridge where the kids would all go stand there and watch him throw the pizza. And this was probably the late 80s, maybe. I mean, late 70s. And they had 2 arcade games, and I had never seen an arcade game in my life at this point. This is maybe 10. I'm not sure when these games came out. I guess we could figure out by that. But they had Atari Basketball, speaking of the leg thing.
Yeah.
And they also had
the stim leg.
That's how I
Hey, Geeks, how's it going?
How about a little bit of this?
Yeah. And I can't remember the official name of it, but I think it was like Gunfight. The old Atari game where you had 2 cowboys and you're just shooting and you're trying to go. But they had both those arcade games.
Yeah.
And I'd sit there and play those while we're at Shakey's.
Dude,
that was literally
Gunfight.
the very first time I played an arcade game.
I got a hold of 2 Gunfight cabinets last summer.
Wow.
Now, mind you, the cabinets were in fantastic shape. Everything inside was basically ripped apart or gutted, including the black and white monitors, which are like impossible to get.
Wow.
So unfortunately, instead of restoring them, I sold the control panels, and then I think I still got one control panel, and then I took the cabinets, turned them into multi games, which people are like, ugh, but I'm like, hey, I listed them for months, no one wanted them, so then I turn them into multis and make some money. But yeah.
Hey, Lance just said he's got a Shakey's about a mile from his house.
I don't remember. That sounds familiar. I mean, I know we don't got any now, but I'm trying to remember like when because that name sounds familiar.
Well, I was watching a video about it and how it started and everything, and look for locations, and every location is in California except for 2 in, I think, Washington State. But Los Angeles, I think that's where Lance is nearby. They have, I don't know what they had, like 30 or so. It's crazy. Got all kind of Shakey's up there.
Lance, you need to send us a picture.
I used to have I had a Shakey's yo-yo. I wish I still had it, but it was cool. It was pretty fat, and
that's awesome.
Sides would pop off. It had the Shakey's logo, the old Shakey's logo, and you'd put batteries on one side, and then when you do it, the whole thing would light up and it would just spin. It was such a great yo-yo.
Was it a Duncan yo-yo?
Duncan yo-yos, yeah.
Remember those were like the top of the line? They flash. Remember those back when yo-yos were cool?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Oh, I had a bunch of Duncan yo-yos. I had
they were like the butterfly style.
Thin one. I had the butterfly one.
Yeah. Learn to do the trick, and what was it? The one walk the dog, and then the cradle, the baby in the cradle, or whatever, you make it swing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's the damn thing won't come back trick. Stupid.
Yeah, we go like that, it just unrolls and doesn't do anything.
Yeah, there's the I suck at it this trick. I love that one. That's one of my favorites. I'll never get this trick. That's another good one.
Any more arcade memories, or should we move on to
one of my other big ones was well, I'll just put a couple of them together because they're pretty quick. But Rolling Thunder was a big one of mine, because there's a place not far from where I live now, again, that had an arcade. and I used to play Rolling Thunder like crazy there. And then the other, so these are all different points in my life. So,
right, yeah. Because Rolling Thunder, what was that, the 90s or was that 80s?
That was the early 90s, going into the early 90s.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, because I got married in 88, and I used to go and meet a buddy of mine over at the arcade, and we'd play. And I loved Rolling Thunder. Just loved it. So, and then the other was like in high school times, middle school, high school, playing the New York. And then probably my other one, which was about that same time frame, there was a record store that was in a nearby town, and they had this little Italian carryout, and they had a few dining tables in there, but they had a copy of Rip Off, and that was awesome.
I'm trying to remember what was Rip Off. What it was the premise of that game. I know the name. Well, I'm just having a brain fart on that.
Yeah, you could play it single or dual. And you would start off as a ship on the side, and then if you played with somebody, they'd be on the other side, and then other little ships would come in, and in the middle, I think there were maybe eight triangles, and that was your fuel and supplies. Okay. And these guys would come in and hook onto it, and then it was vectored like Asteroids, and then they'd hook onto it and start taking it away, and you had to shoot them to keep them from doing that. Wow. So, and then I think you could hook onto it and take it back to the middle if you had time. But, at some point you just had to sit there and shoot these guys. Right. So Rip Off, that was a cool. And that's on YouTube too. You can check it out.
Because I always hear about that stuff. And then and I always or I forget about it, and see it for like a second. Heck, I probably even played it for a second and just don't. There's so many, oh my God, there's so many of those vector games too. There was like from the very early days, and some of those are just so expensive, and then it's so hard to get people to work on a vector monitor.
I forget about that. Have you ever gotten a Space Duel?
That was one I was going to say, Space Duel. I would love to, but they're thousands of dollars. Like it's just they're like, here, would you like to trade a car for this? Perry.
Perry is so very. That is for sure.
Well, that was one of the topics. We trust that off. Perry's appearance there.
What's up, Perry? I love how she just turns her face away. Oh no!
Like no, I will not look at whatever that thing is.
We're just talking before. If you try to take a picture, she always turns her head. This is probably torture for Perry.
Oh my God. Hey, you remember an arcade that was called, I think it was just called Fire Truck, and it was a black and white vector, and someone got on the back and it had a steering wheel, and then someone got in the front and got a steering wheel, and the person in the back had to steer the back end of the fire truck, and you were going through these like subdivisions, and you were trying not to crash. It was me and my cousin played that. It was the most hilarious thing I've ever played. And I found it online, but it's like one of those things again. They're so rare and so out of date that you're rarely going to find one that's still working. But it was like so funny.
I think the only other major, I don't know. I mean, I'll probably say that I don't know what is going on with my computer right now, but it keeps crashing pages. I'm like, come on. But one of the only other vector games I remember playing is Battlezone. Was it Battlezone or what's the name of it?
Yeah, Battlezone. Was that one with the periscope?
Yeah. That's one of the only other vector games I remember playing.
What's the moon one? Not Moon Patrol, but the one Lunar Lander.
Lunar Lander.
Oh my God! You had to do the pitch and the degrees and try to get it to land on that platform.
God,
good tunes, good times.
I'm looking at this arcade game for Fire Truck. This thing's crazy.
And nuts. It's like it was I was up in northern Michigan. I went up there. It was like there was a campground we went to, and then kind of cut out of the woods. They built this little miniature golf and pizzeria, and in the back it was just this huge rectangle room, and just the walls were just I mean, next to the arcades, there was barely a space next to them. There was just like, there must have been 1,000 arcades in that thing. And it was, and then against one of the walls was that fire truck. And I was like, oh my God, that is it was kind of I shouldn't say it's a stupid game, but it just made no sense. Like, why am I driving the back end, but yeah, it was fun.
Well, it's like the episode of Seinfeld. Kramer was driving the back end of the truck.
Oh, was so that actually is a thing then. You drive like the back ends of fire.
Oh, wow. Okay. And then someone drives the back end.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I would have crashed that thing a million times. Oh,
it's
my.
1978.
Uh-oh, is Stu frozen?
He's just really happy.
I think he's just really... We should all just be like this. People come onto the stream.
So this was a black and white game, Chuck?
Yeah, it was a black and white, like vector monitor, kind of like Asteroids.
Wow.
That a screenshot is so funny. Oh. Well, one got hit by the storm. Hang in there.
Yeah, it's raining now.
Oh, it is, huh?
Can you imagine how many of those are left that work? I wouldn't doubt if there's like less than 10.
Oh, look at this. Dan says pinball. Was it Philadelphia Arcade? Outside Pittsburgh has an operating fire truck game. Oh my God, I'd almost make the drive to play that.
Wow,
that is awesome.
How are they keeping that going?
Hey, Poor Man's Retro Room, how's it going? He says, "Hey, Jeff, this is awesome." Oh, okay. Stu said he'd be right back.
He had to bounce.
He had to bounce it out.
So Chuck, I was watching your top golf games.
Oh boy.
And I'm glad you mentioned the TurboGrafx one.
Yeah, I used to play that all the time. Power Golf.
Yes, Power Golf. Yeah, Stu and I used to play that all the time too. That
was one of, like, my dad played that because he was the one, obviously, that got the Intellivision. Him and his friends would always play PGA Tour Golf, and then it went into Chip Shot, and then after that, I got a TurboGrafx. That's when I got out of I think I was still in high school or about to graduate high school, and I picked up a TurboGrafx, and then he goes, "You got a golf game?" And I go, "Yeah," and so I picked up I think Turbo Golf was literally like a $20 game. And
I think it's still pretty cheap.
Oh yeah, you can get them fairly. And I got a boxed one now. Well, I completed it because I had the box still, and I sold the game a while ago. And
I
then,
wish I had those boxes. I always just tossed the boxes because they had the nice jewel case in the CD. So I was like, what do I need this for? Right.
And I thought of that about most stuff, and I ended up. I think I still got it. Yeah, right here. So I said this, I think, before, is like I found. I opened up a box as a kid. I was like, I really think I thought the cover art for TurboGrafx was always really cool. And I don't know what made me do it, but I saved so many boxes. So like all the boxes of the games, my favorite games that I had. So I had like a mint condition. Like this is Power Golf.
Oh, wow.
And and then I sold off all my games years ago, so now I'm recollecting. So now I bought Power Golf complete with everything, and then popped it in the box. So now I got it complete again. But
Chuck, do you have Turbo Express?
No, I've always wanted one, and they're so up there. And then the capacitor problems, and you have to have it upgraded, so then they even charge more. But yeah, I always wanted one of those to play like golf or air zonk or.
Yeah, I've got one somewhere around here. It's cool to have. I mean, when you look at the screen now, the screen's kind of crappy.
Yeah.
So it's not something I would say, rush out and grab one, but it's cool to have.
They have
I haven't played mine in a long time. I don't even know if it still works.
They usually have the capacitors go in them a lot, and just like the turbo, but it has a lot of people do those upgrades. They make the screen a little bit bigger. I mean, it's not by much, but I think I don't know what's in there, like a 2-inch. I think they do like a 2.5 or 3-inch screen. Like they replace it with like an LCD, and then they recap it for you. But it's usually like a couple $100 plus the machine. If you're looking to get one recapped, they're like $400 or $500. Sometimes they might even be more now. That was like when I was looking at them. So
I bought mine when Toys R Us was clearing out TurboGrafx. I even got a TurboGrafx banner. Remember the game cases?
Awesome.
They used to have banners up top.
Yep.
Well, I asked the guy because they're getting rid of them. I said, "Can I just take that?" And he goes, "Sure."
That's so cool.
I don't know what happened to it. We have a storage unit we moved like 5 years ago. I'm hoping it's in there because like you can't. It's not like I'm gonna find one of those again.
Oh my God, that would just be amazing. I remember going to like the Toys R Us and having the had a great group in here. Like I remember to always watch the chat.
I know it's Papa Pete said that right after Stuart left.
Right. No, but I guess we'll click on to the next thing, which is one of my favorite things. Favorite TurboGrafx game.
You know, one quick question on TurboGrafx. You'll probably be able to answer this. And you got the TurboGrafx game. It had the cardboard case. Then inside was the CD case, and the games were all in that little plastic sleeve, and it slid in there.
Most of them. Yep.
I have about 5 or 6 TurboGrafx games that are only in the sleeve, and I'm trying to figure out why I would do that because I would never get rid of the jewel case. And then I started thinking, I think at the end, some of the games didn't come in jewel cases.
They didn't. There was my original Airzonk that I had came with a plastic insert that was like the length of the box, and then it was just the chip inside the little, whatever that is, a little pouch sitting on that plastic thing, and then over that was the manual. It was just like a thin I wish I could find that thin plastic because I have an Airzonk game and I have the box, but I don't have that weird plastic that was in there because it would literally be complete. So now I got to go and buy a freaking jewel case with the game again.
I don't have the box, but I do have Airzonk and the manual.
And those alone are worth like $175 or something. It's unbelievable.
I mean, we did a TurboGrafx show, and I got those out. My old games, I haven't played them in years. And I had those sitting. I was like, why would I not have the jewel case? And I started thinking, I was like, I don't think they even put them in those cases at the end. I think things are going kind of south for them. So they.
yeah. I think they were just like, let's sell or let's make some money while we can.
Man, favorite TurboGrafx game.
Yeah, that's a hard one for me too. I didn't even I wrote the topics, but I did not do any type of
You know what I had? I had the Japanese Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition.
I did as well. One of the best, I think. I mean, you got to get that 6-button controller.
I don't think I have the converter anymore because you had to shove the converter in there. Because I didn't.
I ended up getting a Duo, so I didn't need any converters or cards, so I was able to just plug it right in. And the one I have now is a Duo R. It's the Japanese Duo. But I ended up that one's all region modded too, so you can play pretty much anything in it. But I remember that one had the big bubble.
Yeah,
all the extra stuff they put in it. I thought that was coolest.
I couldn't believe how good it looked. I mean, because I had Street Fighter for Genesis and Super Nintendo. I was like, well, this looks and plays just as good as the other versions. Like, how are they doing this?
Monster versus B. Arthur. Or how about this? Bonk versus B. Arthur. He would bonk her out.
There's one I never thought I'd see.
B. Arthur finds a way to win somehow.
Unless Bonk gets hold of that big piece of meat and goes crazy.
Oh yeah. Or if he's like Bonk's Big Adventure where he gets all huge. That would be pretty funny too. There's so many TurboGrafx games, and it was right at a point in my life, like I was just getting out of high school. I was really getting into games. I could buy stuff myself, and I couldn't wait for the Turbo Duo. I was like so rooting for them, and I knew they were already the underdogs because Sega and Super Nintendo were out, and everybody's like, "Why don't you get a Super Nintendo? They got the greatest Street Fighter," I'm like, no, don't you know? And they're like, no, that's stupid. Like, no one cared about my TurboGrafx but me.
Yeah, I had that. Stuart and I went to the CES show back in 91, 92. And one of them had the new Turbo Duo. Because back then, back then you didn't know what it was coming out. So we got there, and all of a sudden there's a Turbo Duo, and it had John Madden on there playing. I was like, Turbo Duo. I was like, oh my gosh.
When at that time, that's like unbelievable with a CD and everything.
I know, and it was, I don't know what it was, $300, $200, I can't remember. But I never got one, and man, did I regret that, because I would love to have one right now.
I saved up. I was still working at Sears under the escalator, popping watch batteries in and out. And I remember I saved up. It was $2.99, and it came with Wise or Yeast or whatever you want to call it, book 1 and 2, and then it had the 4-in-1. Look at this! Look at this goal! Look at this troll! What's up, Mike?
I already have a Switch.
That's awesome. Oh my god. Yeah, I know. I ended up saving up for that, and I just ended up because I had the 4-in-1 plus Yeast Book 1 and 2, and the fact that you could put any game, no matter what it was, in there, the chip, the CD, and then I loved Lord of the Thunder was coming out, so it was just a no-brainer. Well, now it definitely is. Back then, people were like, "Well, that's stupid. You could have got a Sega Genesis,"
Yeah, I wish I would have gotten that. I remember at that CES show, they had, instead of TurboGrafx out, every console they had for TurboGrafx was a PC Engine. And I didn't know what the heck it was. I was like, what is this? Why is this TurboGrafx so small? I had no clue what was going on then.
I never knew about that till later on. Back when I was literally when I had my Duo, I didn't know what a PC Engine. I never heard of it. There wasn't really much internet back then either, or any.
You play any of the TurboGrafx shooters?
Oh my God, Blazing Laser, Superstar Soldier, Final Soldier, Star Priority. I always mess that up. Star Priority, whatever, that one. And then there's a bunch of just Psychosis I really like too. That was on the Mini. A lot of people didn't like that. It's because it's super hard, but it's still good. R-Type, of course.
Do you have the
Mini?
I don't know.
I got it. And it's not as I wouldn't say it's not bad. I like it. I have it at my bar, and I have one of my TVs, so people can literally sit at my bar and if they want to play it, it's right. I have a Mega Touch thing, and I have it sitting on top of it, and it's fun. It's fun to play, but I mean, there's stuff I'll notice, just weird stuff like on Air Zonk. I know just how it feels to play Air Zonk so well. But that one, you could tell there's just here and there's some stuff off where you kind of get hit when you shouldn't. And I don't know what it is. It's just, you can tell there's emulation compared to having that original game, but it's not terrible. I mean, if someone wants to play it, Parasol Stars is another great one on there. But I ended up giving a couple of them out for Christmas gifts when they came out, because a couple of my friends used to always play with my TurboGrafx, and more recently too, so.
What? I couldn't wait to buy it because I was like, that. I mean, when the Mini first started hitting, I was like, oh, I wish they'd do a TurboGrafx one. I was like, there's no chance. I mean, Konami owns it. They don't care about TurboGrafx. And they did.
Nice. Oh my goodness.
So I
and he's gone.
My Patch
Kid, he's gone.
And I put my last Sour Patch Kid in the glass, and I think it's actually one of those little sea creatures. It's growing and moving.
You killed him.
Oh, my golden tea's broken. That hurt. 3 sexy gentlemen.
Now, Chuck, do you have any arcade one-ups?
No, to me, those are toys. Those aren't even real arcades. I can't. I'm not saying they're not fun to have. To be honest, and the little countercades they have. I got one for one of my little cousin. I got her a Ms. Pac-Man this Christmas. But other than that, I think they're mostly just toys. Those. I mean, they're so tiny. They're 3.5 feet tall. Then you put them on a riser, they're maybe 4 feet.
Yeah.
I don't
No,
know.
I don't have any.
They wear out. Like it's real thin. The control panels wear off real easy. But if they want to give me a free one, I think they're the best, and I will promote them to the C. No, I got enough arcades. I don't need those.
Have you seen their Pong?
No
arcade system. This is something I might get. It's
that sounds like I would get something like that.
It's kind of, I think it's it's like kind of thin. It comes up, and then I believe the screen is flat. So when you go up to it, you're looking down.
Right.
It's got Pong and a couple of others, but the one big thing they have is the arcade version of Warlords. So they have 4 controllers set up. So you can play Pong, you can play Warlords. I think there was some kind of 4-player version of Pong. But that is one I'd be interested in because
that actually could be fun.
Because that's such a simple thing. People come over who don't play games.
Yeah, that would be cool. So it's almost like a cross between a cocktail table and an upright, but it's kind of just like a.
Yeah, it's just a tall.
So it'd be like a
cocktail table. It just basically has a base and a screen on top of it with 4 controllers.
Yeah, Lance makes a good point here. I saw this. I mean, I checked them recently, and I couldn't find any. At least I guess maybe just in my area. But I went on Walmart. I heard they were doing this. They were doing a lot of their countercades for $50. They're normally like $199. They had like a Galaga Galaxian one, I think. So I was like, oh man, that'd just be for $50. That'd look good right in the back, just running whenever I'm running like a show or something.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Warlord is awesome.
So Stu, your favorite TurboGrafx game?
I would probably have to say Bloody Wolf.
I would think so. You have that. You usually have that on display, or you did. I do. I think when I was.
Yeah, I don't know. It should be here somewhere, but
Bloody Wolf. And why did they not put that on the mini? That was another thing. I was like, why would you not put Bloody Wolf on the mini?
Yeah, that's
like some of the games they put on there were questionable too, but whatever. Yes. Oh, and in box too.
Oh, I put it behind my head.
I must say, I got to say mine is, I'm going to have to just go with Airzone because it's going to have to be my all-time favorite. I think just so many memories playing that one. But I'm such a fan of that system. Like I could probably list 30 games in a row and still keep going.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for certain.
Yeah, there's something about the graphics and the sound of that system is just different than.
Yeah, it is. It's just like a different thing, you know. Some people like NES, some people like Sega, you know, and then I mean it's okay to like everything too. Like
I was gonna say that's kind of where I am. I'm at a point now. I love everything. You know, I'm now collecting, but back then it was such a brutal market, especially the 16-bit market. It was like you were a Super Nintendo guy or you were a Sega guy, right?
And then the underdogs were the TurboGrafx. I went for them. You know.
Yeah, my first 16-bit system was TurboGrafx.
Oh, you got a Yinling there, don't you?
Yeah, buddy.
Nice.
I do believe this is still from our trip to Memphis.
Nice.
It was as my wife said, it was a glorified beer run. She's like, we're going to go to Graceland and we're going to go to Sun Studios, but ultimately, you know, it's a glorified beer run.
Did you feel like you were in Smokey and the Bandit? Trying to haul out that beer.
Jeff, you said your first 16-bit system was Turbo?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then I got a Genesis.
I was the same. Yep.
And then a year or two later, I got Super Nintendo. It's kind of weird because
that's kind of what I did, though. It's almost the same.
I play mostly Switch. I'm a huge Nintendo fan, but I didn't have an NES when they came out. I got one a few years later. Super Nintendo was my last 16-bit system that I got. I did get Nintendo 64 on day one because of Super Mario 64.
Super Mario 60. God, I remember me and my cousins just running through that. Like, oh my God, it was so great at the time, you know?
And then I had a GameCube and an Xbox at the same time. And I probably played those pretty equally. I really like the original Xbox. And
Lance
then,
is a good point right here.
So I
guess that would be mine first too. So,
I never had one, so
my first would have been an Intellivision then. Now, do you have an Intellivision now or no?
No.
Oh, really? Okay.
I got a box over here full of Intellivision games, so I will get one at some point.
Well, that's cool.
I was going to say, if there's anybody out there that has a good eye on where to get one, then you can correct me here, Chuck. What would you say are the best models to get? The original, and then maybe the Spheres?
I'd say the original. If you want, I have a System 3 I like too. We were kind of talking about this on the. So the System 3 is a little weirder because like that the buttons aren't raised, and I think when you put an overlay on, I or even sometimes I'll use it without the overlay because I'm used to where everything is.
Okay.
But to feel those buttons is a little bit better than just having the flat. It looks cool though because they made it like silver and black instead of wood grain and gold. But the original, I don't know, just that one with the original can't really reach it. To me, I like the original, and you can usually get them, but $60 to $75 probably. Okay. A lot of times you get people even like local marketplace stuff. Like they'll be like, "Oh, got this old video game system, $40, and you'll be like, "Oh yeah." I just did a Facebook pickup for some Intellivision. Yeah, for some Intellivision games that I'm missing out of my 125 and a couple Sears variants, and like the guy's like, take the whole lot, $40. I'm like, yep, no problem. I'll buy it right now. Ship it. Probably has no clue if he has rare ones or not, And yeah, perfect example right here. That's what he's saying. The 3 looks great. The tactile feel of the buttons. You want to have that. That's why the original system is I like the bubble buttons. Now they did have a Super Pro system that was a black and silver, but they had their buttons were more of a bubble feel again. Oh yeah, and then they have I always wanted this one. They made a Sears version of Intellivision, and it's got white, or it's all white with the white controllers, and then it has a big wood grain finish on the front, and it says Sears Telegames Super Video Arcade, and they did that with Atari too, which was really weird. Like back in the day, having like Sears have their own version.
Yeah,
and then
I had no desire for those old Atari Sears Telegames. To me, it was
because there was a generic cartridge.
It was like a generic, yeah. It's like, why would I want this? I want the real thing. They're probably worth more money now, I bet.
Yeah, and Papa Pete's right. Like the controllers are detachable, so if something went wrong, like because the original like System 3 or the original ones, they were all just the coiled. They're built in,
Is there only one?
I'm sure you can open them up. Yeah, Sears is just the one version.
Okay. That's a lot more expensive though, isn't it?
No, it's about, it depends. I think I've seen them up there for $75, $80. It depends on the condition or if they're, well, I never understood when people are selling like game systems, they're like untested as is. It's like, you couldn't plug it in before you listed it. You'd get more for it saying works perfect. So anytime they're like untested, I'm like, yeah, no thanks. Like,
untested, but I'd still like.
Don't got the cords for it, really, because it's just a normal RCA cord to a coaxial. Like it's not like I don't know. I think people are lazy, or they're like they'll buy it even though it's broken.
Yeah, no doubt. Oh wow.
Right. Let's see what other amazing. I got an obscure one for you guys. Okay. You guys might not even have favorites of this, but I'm throwing it on here just because it's so silly. Favorite 3DO game?
That's all, Jeff.
I think the only game I ever played for it was Shoot, I just had it. It's
Was it Way of the Warrior? Was it?
No, it's the EA game, the motorcycle Road Rash.
Oh, that's got to be the best Road Rash ever made. I mean, for that time, you know. Oh, kitty.
That's Punky.
Punky.
His name's Mal, but I call him Punky.
That's
a real
awesome.
He's
I like how he's just like,
because you can tell he's loving this.
Yeah, he's
like,
so doesn't want to get down.
Yeah, he's like, just put me down, Dad.
Yeah, yeah. So he's like, well, I'll put up with it.
Yeah, whatever. Just give me the food.
All right, I'll pretend to like this. Just okay. Can I go now?
You're the best. Woo, yay!
Dude, I love cat. I'm such a cat person. I love dogs too. I like animals, you know. But cats are so cool though.
They can be, and then they can be douchebags.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, there's some where he's just like, I wouldn't put up with that. People are like, yeah, scratched me again. I'm all wrapped up. Went to the hospital. Like, maybe that's not a good match.
Well, I don't know if the cat's super mean or if they're super stupid.
Right. I know.
I'm like, maybe
you got a place. Right. You got a place. You're getting fed. You're going to scratch me?
You're going to what?
Or bite me? Or like, I don't think so. So funny.
I think tomorrow morning when you ask for food, I'll say, bite me.
Yeah. Yeah. How about that? Remember that?
Yeah.
Yesterday?
And then the cat looks at you and goes, okay, I will.
Maybe you should just bite him back.
I've done that. I have done that.
Two can play that game.
So I got a weird bear. A bear? No, I don't have a bear. I hope not.
You don't have
I have a beer. This is a Papa Pita like this. I was telling him I had a maple one. This is Michigan Maple Milkshake Stout by Rochester Mills. Anyways, it's one I had on a pack that I got during Christmas, and I'm about to try it right now.
What's the deal with Christmas and then now?
I know, like, why don't they have crazy cool multi-packs during, like, the summer?
All I'm saying is you got it around Christmas, and now you're drinking it.
Oh,
he
yeah.
ordered his WKRP around Christmas, and now he just got it.
I think it was I was waiting to – I kept pushing it to the back of the fridge because I kept getting other stuff, and it was this one, and then there was a couple more, and then anyways, this was like the last one I had. Wow, that is a dark beer.
Oh, that's a stoutish look.
It is very stoutish.
Very stoutish.
It sounds frothy.
Frothy. Just like Pete. Pete is frothy.
Oh my God, that's delicious.
Is
oh my
like
God,
a milkshake.
It's like, oh, you can taste the maple, man. It's like there's maple syrup in it, but it's so good.
Yum.
I'm sure the alcohol content's pretty good in here too. I think it's probably a 7 or an 8.
You know, that's what I like about this stuff. You know,
oh no, it's actually low. It's a 5.8.
Well, that's better than my wild sour. It's 5.2. But what's me lager? That's a shite. I can't tell. Why doesn't it say? I don't know. And then they print everything twice as small anymore. I don't know.
Oh, I know. I can't. I just went to the eye doctor. I got a couple sets of glasses, which I haven't bought glasses in like over 10 years. I've had like a bad prescription, but I would do contacts, so I update my contacts. But I'm like, but I'm like, you know what? Maybe my eyes should need a breath of fresh air. I think I'm going to get a couple pairs of glasses. I think I deserve it. So
I'm getting ready to go on the 6th, but I'll tell you what, here's what they told me. Go ahead and just bring in your old glasses. And I'm like, I have no idea where they are.
It's weird. They got those machines because I brought in mine and they scan them. Like they put them under it. Like the machine tells what lens it is. I'm like, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I just went to the eye doctor right before the end of the year and I got my prescription, my glasses, and I just got some contacts. But was it 2 weeks ago? I think it was 2 weeks ago. Maybe it was a week ago. I swear my eyes have completely changed. It was almost like overnight. I can't see close up anymore.
Yeah, that happened my last prescription.
But I can see a little bit better farther away.
Yeah, so you're a nearsighted then.
I was nearsighted, always have been, even through the exam. And all of a sudden, I just woke up one day and I was like, I can't even. I thought maybe I left my contacts in for a few days because I couldn't see close up, which happens to my contacts. But I don't know what's going on. So I've got this box of contacts I probably can't even use at this point because my eyeballs changed in between exam and getting the contacts.
Yeah, wow. It's the last one I had. I ended up. It was like it felt like it was way too strong in my left eye, and that's when I was like reading menus. Like, oh, okay. Like, can you hold this across the room, sir? I will let you know my selection momentarily. Perry. And no, it's funny because like and I went back and it's been like almost 3 years, and I went back and the guy goes, "How's your left eye doing?" I go, "Why do you ask?" I go, "Well, it seems like it's really strong." He goes, "Yeah, we're gonna bring that back down." It was a different doctor. I love every time I go is a different doctor.
Oh,
and he goes, "You're having a hard time reading up front, like you need bifocals." I go, "Oh yeah." He goes, "We're gonna bring that down a little bit so where you'll be able to actually at least see." He goes, "So now both your eyes will be the same thing." And I'm like, "Oh, awesome!" Now because now I can order the same one and it'll be double the So now I have like, I don't know, like almost a year's supply of contacts, and after ordering like a 6-month supply. Anyways, but I'm excited to actually wear glasses again because I got some really cool ones. I asked him, I was like, "You got like the kind that Danny DeVito wears in like Sunny in Philadelphia?" I was like, "I want just I want those thick, plastic lenses, They're like, "Yes, we do." And I was like, "Well, show me."
Yes, we do.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are making a new Left Eye game.
So I was looking on Facebook Marketplace, and they got a Nintendo system.
Yeah.
With games, and one of the games is Bible Adventures.
Oh, that sounds like just a hoot.
That's really expensive, isn't it?
What's that?
Isn't that really expensive?
No.
I thought the Bible games are...
I was going to say it's probably like 50 cents.
Well, I thought the Bible games were all like outrageously priced now because...
well, this comes with the game. They didn't
sell many, of course.
The game system for like... Well, in that case, I don't want to say any more, and I want to go get it and then just resell it. But yeah, it comes in the box and everything.
Wow.
They say that the adapter for the TV has a short in it.
Like, I couldn't plug it in.
Said it's not expensive.
It's not expensive. Okay. He said it's not a big collectible.
Dude, I found out that I had that Nightmare on Elm Street NES, and I had the original box and complete. Well, actually, no, yeah. I'm missing the manual. That's the only thing. Which I might actually have it because I have a case of manuals someplace tucked away. But it was like almost $1,000 in mint shape. So I mean, mine I'd say is very good to fair. I'd say more towards the fair. I mean, it's not bad, but you can tell it's got some wear on the corners and it's been bent a little bit. But I ended up getting a clear case for it. I want to protect it. I'm like, I might this might be an investment for a while. But I also like that name or that name. Sorry, I'm reading these things. I like that game. It's a really Nightmare on Elm Street for NES is one of my favorite like NES games, and people talk a lot of crap on it, but I love it. I do.
Did you like?
Yeah, see, they're right there. Perfect. Exact. Yeah, it's box makes such a difference with NES. It really does.
Yeah, I bet. I got some that have box. I got a lot that have boxes, and some, just some that don't. They're all right there.
Nice.
Like
the only one I got, I think, is The only one I got is original Punch Out.
Oh, I have that.
So, and I think it's worth about, I don't know, maybe like 4 or 5, maybe more. I don't know.
Is that what mine looks like?
I mean, the Mike Tyson is probably way more. I have like a little dent on the top, but it's not like bad. Like other than that, it's fairly mint.
Oh no, I have the Tyson.
Oh, see that I would think that would be a lot more.
And it's near. I mean, it's
Yeah.
very good.
The BK games. Mike Mullis keeps getting Burger King games in his pickups.
One of my favorites.
Oh, Super Sprint.
Yeah.
Nice. And boxed. Oh my God. Is that like a gold box too?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Wow.
awesome.
Yeah.
Now do you have a clear case on that?
No,
Oh, you should get those clear protectors, man. Those
because
are
I don't have a hip friend that knows about that. Wait a minute.
I could probably send you a link. On eBay, there's a couple guys I get these protectors from. They're usually like 10 for like $15.
Yeah, look at that. Check the
Tengen.
Oh man, that is amazing.
Tengen interior box. And
Oh man, manual and everything.
yep. I keep hearing about this Manuel guy.
Manuel is
Manuel makes it all worthwhile.
But
yeah, I love this game. That's why
receive a game for you.
That's why Jeff and I can't wait to play the was it Turbo Derby? What is it?
Nitro Derby.
Nitro Derby. As soon as I said it, I'm like, that's not right, and I never can remember it. That's why I got to get an Amico so I don't forget.
There you go.
I'm thinking they should change the name of that game because I can never remember the name of it.
It reminds me of like a larger scale or upgraded RC Pro-Am.
Still one of my favorite.
Super Spike Volleyball. I think I remember that one, playing that one.
4-player. Jeff and I used to play this.
Actually, I might.
a lot.
That game is so much fun.
I think I actually have that loose cart. I don't have anything like the box manual.
Yeah. They look like a bunch of Kens on the field, don't they?
They look like a bunch of douchebags.
There's one thing I got to say about this team. I don't think I get along with any of these guys.
No. Do you listen to Megadeth?
Yes.
I got 3 questions for you.
What about Slayer? Yes. Then we have nothing left to talk about.
So true,
I love you,
true.
but we ain't got nothing left to talk about.
Oh my goodness. What is this here?
Oh,
Did you do guy sells $100? He's a great guy.
there you go, right there.
All right, so now I want to get into this. This is okay. Oh my God. Okay, so I'm going to ask. I think I know what that is from what I can see. So weirdest toy collecting. I got some. So let's start with you because you got that. That is not Transor Z, is it?
Is that what they called the Shinobi Warrior? That one?
Is he have the red hovercraft that goes into his head that links
No.
up and with a drive? Then it's not, but it looks very similar. That's why I was
Yeah.
going to ask. Like a lot of times,
I'll go get it.
douchebag beach volleyball. A true 6 out of 10. I love it. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, so that is straight up like Japan anime.
Because see, like it.
They have the
basically what it is,
coolest stuff, man.
it's got a bird face too, so it's
Oh,
like
it
flies
does.
this
Yeah, it
way,
does.
and then it would land,
Oh, that's
and then
very
it's
cool.
this guy, like a pharaoh kind of a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They always had the coolest stuff, like all their Voltron, like the Go Lion and the vehicle, like all those robots were so cool.
yes. And this is one of the things I still have from when I was a kid. Is the Evil Knievel.
rocket.
What is that?
The Evil Knievel rocket.
Oh, it's the Evil Knievel. Okay.
I'm sorry the lighting sucks.
Yeah, no,
here.
that was the only reason. It was real bright.
Yeah, the lighting.
Yeah, I had that as well. Those things were awesome.
I gotta tone it down.
I used to have the cycle, the Evil Knievel,
Yes.
like the zip cycle, or no,
Yes.
you cranked it up in the bass and then let it go, and it would jump.
It's a little better.
Yeah, I tried to get it off of there, Pete. I just Yeah, I got a cool one, and I got them coming too, and I'm probably going to do an unboxing, and they're going to probably end up being, because it was one of those really obscure toys, and I'm guaranteeing you guys will not remember this. If you do, then you get kudo points. But I'm going to end up putting them on my shelf back here permanently. That's how much I love these. They came out it's a 1980s toy. I want to say 83, 82, 83 maybe.
Are you going to say it?
Yeah, eventually. I'm just going to keep leading everyone on, then we'll switch to top.
Well, no, I just meant like I'm eager to know if you're going to say what I think you're going to say.
Roboforce.
Oh, that's not what I thought you were going to say, but yes.
Roboforce was a say it. Roboforce was a thing of robots. They had big suction cups for the bottom, and they had these like accordion looking arms, and they had these brackets, and on the back you pressed a button and the arms would go like that, and they called them crusher arms, but if you touched them wrong, they'd snap off. Like, it was the most delicate arm. And it used to come with like a note in all the toys. You'd open up and be like, don't pose or bend the robot's arms, you will break them.
They
but
didn't
you can
have
press
a
the button and you go, oh my, I hit my freaking mic.
That's a safety
dance.
Yeah. You can dance if you want to. You can leave your friends.
They didn't have
you can leave your robots behind.
They didn't have a Robopenis, did they?
Hey, it's Tommy Tallarico.
Tommy.
Hey.
What's up, Tommy? We're just talking about toys. And, of course, Intellivision Amico. That's awesome, man. Thanks for stopping in. That's awesome.
I'm eager to know if he got his... Okay, I don't mean to say it like this, but I wonder if he got his package.
If he's got his package? Well...
Yeah, he should have a package from me. He
got okay, got you.
He got it a while back, but it, getting to his mail is not always the first priority. So I sent him something very special. I don't know if he's still here or not, but actually it's right back here.
That's what he says right here. My new favorite toy is my Spider-Man soundtrack, courtesy of Stu. There you go.
So when I was a kid, this came out. This is on vinyl. I got it on vinyl. And then...
oh, man, I love Spider-Man.
But here's the weird thing, okay? And this is for Tommy. What the weird thing is I finally did, because I'm going to do a show on this. I finally checked this out, like got in depth. Yeah. This wasn't actually... A bunch of these guys were in a band. It was called Crack the Sky. And they were out in the 70s, and they were on Life Song Records. And they got a bunch of these guys together, and they did this record. But Jim Griffins left the band.
The Spider-Man soundtrack is very romantic.
And it was cool.
It is, Rachel, it is.
It was really cool. So I didn't know if Tommy had it.
So he has to get the vinyl as well, he said.
There you go. Right there, brother, right there. I think I got it at a Kmart when it came out, because I flipped. I couldn't believe it. So I got it, and then the CD that I sent Tommy that I have as well has extra tracks on it. But I'm dying to do an interview with the guys from Crack the Sky.
See you, Tommy. Thanks for stopping in, man.
Glad you got your package. That's going to be in our next show. So when you get back together with me on Hammer Away, we're going to talk about that. Remember the word reimagining, Tommy. Reimagining. So. I think.
Hey, It just goes hand in hand with my weird toys. So.
Well, I can't wait to get to my buddy's place because he's getting rid of all of his stuff, and he's got a GI Joe, and I'm like, dude, I gotta have the GI Joe. I mean, I played with GI Joes for years, and then it turned into the 8-inch figures, the superhero figures. I mean, I look at some of those superhero the Mego figures, and I'm like, or Mego, however you say it.
Right.
Mego.
So I look at those and I'm like, oh, wait, I had that one. You know, I had stuff from Planet of the Apes, and I had stuff from Starsky and Hutch, and I had
I had Planet of the Apes, those action figures. Those are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Starsky and Hutch. Wow. I had the Dukes of Hazzard. I had the flip top car where you put them in through the roof. And I had I had the patrol car. I had Bo and Luke.
The first thing I would have gotten was
Daisy.
Daisy.
I don't know.
Did
Daisy
you get the
went
guys
missing.
too? No, I just got Daisy. I stopped there.
I mean, I'm not a fan or anything.
I know. Look at you. I never was into that show. Never a big thing of mine. Starsky and Hutch. Yes, I own the whole series over there.
But anyway, yeah. Well, back to Roboforce was like I bought a bunch of these robots.
Yeah.
If you ever get a chance, look it up on like YouTube, like the commercials. It's hilarious.
Sure.
It's like the most obscure thing, and they had like a little history. And they went on, and I think they had come out with another collection that they tried to put out by another company, but it wasn't the same. And it was one of those things, you know. Which kind of goes into what I was going to talk about next too, was like what you'd want to see come back, you know, as far as as far as like something obscure, like, you know, my thing was always GoBots. Like I always wanted to see GoBots come back, and you know, because they're actually owned by Hasbro, which owns Transformers.
Wow.
Oh, that's right. The $6 Million Man. You used to look through his eye.
That's right.
I also had a Silverhawks action figure, Commander Stargazer, and they did the same thing. You look through his eyeball, and it was like a little like telescope, you know, whatever it was, you know. Very, very good. Yeah.
Silverhawks. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Huggy Bear versus Salami from White Shadow.
Huggy Bear. I don't know. I can't see Huggy Bear fighting anybody. Remember that scene? Remember that scene they always show on the opening credits? And he just Huggy Bear. He couldn't fight. I don't think that's happening.
Yeah. I had God, speaking of like GoBots too, they were people don't realize they were first. Tonka put out GoBots first, and then Hasbro was like, "Oh, we're gonna make these Transformers, so move over." And that's kind of what happened, which is sad because like the idea of the transforming robots, although it was another thing from overseas as well, because all the cool robots obviously come from there.
Yeah.
I forgot what they called them before. Before they were called GoBots, they were something else, something robots. I just saw something on there.
GoBots. Yeah,
Joe knockoff back in the day called Big. I do remember Big Jim.
Big Jim.
Well, dude, I was gonna say Big Jim. Big Jim was huge.
It sounds like a place you get thrown in if you were getting punished. We're gonna have you sleep with Big Jim.
Big Jim.
You're going to Big Jim.
Yeah. And I'm out of here. Thanks. Bye. No, Big Jim was actually, there was multiple characters.
Monty.
I actually, okay, want to hear, okay, real quick. I did, I don't know if this is by accident, but my mom had bought a umbrella for me for school. I forgot what year that was, and it had a Monchichi head on the bottom of the handle. And I was the whole way on the way to school, I was trying to break the head off the bottom of the umbrella so people didn't think I was like stupid or whatever. GoBots versus Smash. Big Jim. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Big Jim was the shit.
Yeah,
he was He was sold with
Big Jim.
an armband.
I do remember.
It was silver, and then you pull his arm, and his muscle would expand and pop the band off.
Nice.
And then
Yeah.
there was another character called Warpath. It was a Native American character, and then there was another one that was he was bald and had a silver arm.
Oh wow.
God, I gotta look that up now.
See, I definitely remember it. I never owned any of the toys, but I remember that coming out.
Dude, yeah, I had the Big Jim camper and all that stuff. I used to I'd go outside and I'd bring pine branches in and set up a little camping area in my house.
Oh,
I'm sure there was sap in the carpet for years. I'm sure.
I used to. My big thing as a kid too was Matchbox cars, Hot Wheel cars.
Yep, Hot Wheels.
Definitely. I could go if I had a case of Hot Wheels or Matchbox cars. I can go anywhere and meet some kid I didn't know. Oh yeah, you always go to your parents' friend's house. Hey, meet little Bobby. He's waiting for you. And oh hey, what's happening, man? And you go over there and be like, you want to play? I got cars. Oh, dude, that's cool. You set up your base there. I'll set up. Either that or action figures or anything. But cars were my thing. Especially if you had made dirt roads and you made you lined up stones, and I just thought that was the coolest, man. Cars was it.
Yeah, they were a common denominator when you were a kid.
Oh, it's a live stream. It's my first. I'm not doing very well. No, I'm just
what? I'm trying to remember what
Warpath have an awesome tattoo on his arm.
What who did? Wait, what?
Warpath.
That was his
awesome
name.
Tattoo.
Yeah. I'm trying to find all of these.
Oh, here's a. Let's see. Oops, wrong one.
This is here. This was the set that I had.
This is what I was going to say. Oh, that's awesome.
This. I don't know what this
is.
That's
a Big Jim set?
Yeah, but what the hell is this?
Maybe that's his girlfriend or something. I can't see.
That's Big Jim's illegitimate brother. I don't know who the hell that is.
I love this. Is such a good point. Remember when Tonka trunks were made of metal and not the plastic? I had a Tonka trunk.
Those were awesome.
I remember having a Tonka truck, and we used to throw it around, and we were like, "This is Tonka tough," and I could never break it. No, I was a little kid, but those things used to be steel.
That is it. There's Big Jim.
Apparently, Big Jim had a buddy called Big Jeff.
Oh, speaking of,
well, now look at that. That's like what? Why can't I say his name? That's like Jack Kirby artwork right there.
Big Jim. Was that a Big Jim
the karate
sweatsuit?
Dude. I forgot about the karate dude.
This is awesome.
There it is.
If Big Jim's van is a rockin'.
Don't bother knocking.
Big Jim's illegitimate cousin, Hippie Ralph.
Oh man, I had this. Look, he had an acoustic
Oh yeah, this
guitar.
is true right here. Battle Cat from Masters of the Universe was originally a tiger meant for Big Jim. That is true.
Shut up.
Yep. That was on the what is it that I was watching that thing on Netflix, the toys that made us or something or not or how it's made.
Yeah.
I forgot whatever it's called, but
I had this guy too. Crikey, I know Big Jim. And he chopped this piece of log in half.
Snap into a Big Jim. Oh yeah.
Snap on a Slim Jim. Look at that.
Suit him up for action. Suit up.
That's what I told her.
Oh, it's great.
Why can't we see Warpath though? Where the heck is he? Oh, I had the motorcycle too.
The Dune buggy was pretty cool.
But there he is, Boris. I had Boris.
Boris.
He had a
he's got like a steel head too, doesn't he?
Yes. Look at that. Big Jim Kung Fu Studio. Big Jim with a beard.
I get mad and say they were action figures.
I know, me
Pick
too.
up your dolls.
Yeah.
My dad used to say that too. Pick up your dolls and feed the dog. And it was a cat.
There, Dr. Steele. That's what I had. Dr. Steele. That's it. And he had the
Oh my God, I
hand.
remember that.
Yeah, and he had the tattoo on his chest.
Wow.
That's too much. So yeah, that was my childhood right there. G.I.
Wow.
Joes and Big Jim, and then 8-inch superhero figures.
Mine was mostly robots. I mean, in Matchbox cars.
That's just the difference in the ages. That's all.
Lance just mentioned my favorite.
What?
Micronauts.
Oh, you did it! He did it!
Micronauts.
Yay, Lance!
Micronauts.
You know who
Lance?
who brought up the other day too? Was it Visionaries or something that had the it was in a chat I was in the other day. I don't know if it was Mike Garvey or somebody or Lance that brought it up. Yeah, Visionaries. They had these like they were. I think it was around like the He-Man G.I. Joe kind of time, and they had like these. What do you call those? Like motion kind of things. They look like.
Yeah.
And they had like shields and staffs with those on it. And it was like the coolest thing because if you turned your head this way, it moved, you know.
And then it came with a shot of acid too.
Right, right. All right.
Yeah, this is cool. Micronauts. Good job, Lance. I was going to bring that up, and I got so enamored with Big Jim.
So
That's what I call it.
Let's move on to a different silly subject called meeting a musician or celebrity, and what fantastic stories we have.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, that is Michael Lang brought up Visionaries. Yes. Yeah. I remember I was like, and I had to look them up because I didn't know I'm like, I never heard of them. And I'm like, oh, I totally remember my friend having like a bunch of those.
Yeah.
Anyways. Just back. Yeah. Yeah,
know,
mine got
right?
mine were all thrown out. That's just how it was back in the day. It was, you don't use these, you're too old. I'm going to clean them while you're at work. I was like just out of high school, working probably still my Sears job or the paint store. Come back and I was like, hey, what? In a week later, I'm like, what happened? Oh, the other day when you were at work, I cleaned out your whole toy chest. You don't need those anymore. I was like, dude, I had like some pretty good GI Joes. I had Cobra Commander. I had the freaking Globulus that had the big snake body. I had a bunch of other and they're all on the garbage.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry.
All my He-Mans.
Oh. Even your She-Ra?
What's that?
Even your She-Ra?
I had the whole collection of She-Ra. No, I'm just kidding. I always wanted the Sorceress though. I had the Zor bird, the orange bird, which was cool. Mm-hmm. Die-cast metal Voltron. I did as well. I still do. I have an original Go Lion Voltron. Jesus. I can't right now. I'm in the middle of a show, but thanks. I turned my phone off. I know that's my buddy. Yeah, so meeting a musician or celebrity. Anybody have any stories or have anything that like where you met someone, either a celebrity or someone you kind of looked up to, and or a musician or someone you just met on accidentally?
Well, if I'll take Jeff, you mind if I take the first one?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Our first meeting. Okay, Jeff and I, we've heard the story. Jeff and I met, and he was very quiet. This is how I tell the story. Jeff was very quiet to himself. I was sent over to his office periodically on a Thursday. We had one of our graphic designers would go over to his office and help out with all the work. And because it was just you, wasn't it?
I think
at
so.
Your office, Jeff? Yeah. So we'd go over to help relieve some of the overload. So one of the days while I was there, Jeff puts in a cassette and starts it up, and the drums begin, and it's She's So Selfish by the Knack. So I wigged out because that's my favorite song on that first record. So I said, that's my favorite song, dude. And he goes, that's my favorite song. And I'm like, holy crap. So then we became fast friends. And then years later, Jeff looks at me and he goes, the Knack have a new album out. And it's called Zoom. He goes, if they come anywhere near here, we're going. I said, dude, if they come anywhere near here, I'll get you backstage. So sure enough, the Knack's coming to Chicago. So we take a road trip up to Chicago, and the thing was, it was a wonky day. Everything was fine. We drove all the way up there, did a great, not a problem. Get there, I'm supposed to have a photo pass, 2 passes, and 2 tickets. Okay, 5 things. I ended up with 2. I had a ticket. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I had a ticket and I had a photo pass. And so we go to the box office and I'm like, look, I need another ticket. They get me another ticket. We talk to the tour manager, Todd, and he says, in the meantime, we meet a gentleman named Keith who works on this security. So this is all important. And I'm taking with me a tube, and we had this wide print machine where I worked. So I printed out this thing that had the Knack logo on it and all the names of the people in the band. And so I wrapped this around a plastic tube into which I put it was almost a 3x3 poster on thick cardstock from a record store of the first Knack album, Get the Knack, and a color poster for Jeff of the Knack. And I roll those up and I put it in this tube. So I'm carrying this. I get all my other crap with me. We get him a ticket, but we can't get him another pass. And I could probably get backstage on my photo pass, is what they were telling me. So I'm like, okay. So we go into the show. We get all the way to the front because we're there freaking early. We get all the way to the front and we meet the bass player's niece. So we're hanging out with her the whole time. She's like, yeah, I'm his niece. And we're like, oh, that's so cool. So we're hanging out and I'm singing every word. The band is playing. It's a brilliant show. This is fantastic. We get to the end and he can't get backstage because they can't get me another pass for Jeff. He's brought with him. What did you bring, Jeff? 2 albums.
I bring Doug Feiger's first album.
Yeah.
The Sky.
Yeah, The Sky. You had both of those. Didn't they have 2? You had both.
Yeah, 2 of them.
Yeah, 2 of them. So he's got 2 vinyl from Doug Feiger's band prior to the Knack to get autographed. So everybody's asking me the whole time about this tube too. They're like, is that a rocket? Is that a bong? I'm like, yeah, I'm just carrying a bong around.
Yeah, you always do that when you come in.
What a freaking dork that is. Right? People think it's bad enough if you wear your band's T-shirt.
Right.
Which I think is stupid. So
I always said that, and every time I pick someone up to go to a show and say we're going to see Iron Maiden, I'm like, oh, nice Iron Maiden shirt. You think you're going to see them?
I think it's stupid that I can't wear my Iron Maiden shirt.
Oh, okay. I make fun of people I don't care, but I just right, I know. Funny.
But I'm like, I'm going to go see Iron Maiden. Why wouldn't I wear my Iron Maiden shirt? If I wear something else, hey, nice Judas Priest shirt. Did you remember who you're going to see tonight? Dork.
Oh yeah, that's true too. It works both ways.
Hey, thanks for promoting another band. You're an idiot. So then it comes time at the end of the show, and I'm trying to get him in there, and they're like, no, he can't go. You can go, but he can't go. I'm like, good Lord, Jeff, just wait in the lobby. I'll take care of this. So I go, they tell me where to go. They say, go over there. I know this is going to take a minute. Just bear with me. So I go up they go up that stairway over there. So I go up the stairway. No, that's not the Knack's dressing room. That's the opening act's dressing room. Oh. And they're like, yeah, they're right through that door right there. But we've knocked on it and nobody opened it. So I'm like, son of a. And I'm like, well, thanks, guys. It was a great show. You did a great show. I didn't want to, just go, okay, bye.
Right.
Don't care about you. So then I make my way down the stairs. And then this woman in red who was kind of there as like a manager or whatever. She and I get together there and I'm like, so I'm trying to get to the band. They just sent me up there, but that's the opening act. She goes, okay, well, go up these stairs and then go up there and then there'll be an elevator. Okay. So I make my way up the stairs and bump into Bert Navarre, the guitar player, on the way down the stairs to go see his friends to go get fish, because that's what Burton does. Burton didn't hang out with the band. He'd just he'd get done with the show, get changed, cleaned up, and then he'd leave the show and go with friends from whatever town he was in and go get fish. So bear that in mind. Remember that when Jeff starts talking. So I go, hey, thanks. And he signs my posters. I'm like, okay, bro, we'll have a good time, man. I'll see you later. So then I get to the elevator. It needs a key. And then these two people come walking up the stairs and they meet me at the elevator. And they're like, do you have a key? I'm like, why do I look like I got a key? I'm like, no, I don't have a key. So then somebody shows. What's that? Yeah, exactly.
Like
right.
a video game.
This should be a video
key. Game. You will need it.
the Knack backstage after dark. And so then somebody shows up with a key. They get us in the elevator. We go upstairs. I show up in the hallway. There's Doug Feiger, the lead vocalist and guitar player for the band. I'm like, oh. So then I talk to him. I'm like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, oh, I said, I got my buddy with me. And I said, I just needed a pass. I was supposed to have 2 passes, 2 tickets, a photo pass. Yeah. But when I saw Doug, he goes, I forgot this. Doug looks at me and goes, hey, how's it going? He goes, you were singing, you knew every word to every song. I'm like, dude, I know. I love this stuff. That's just the way it is. So then I said, well, my friend is waiting down in the lobby. We're supposed to have a couple of passes. He's dying to see you. He's got Sky on vinyl, and he wants to have you sign it if that's cool. And he goes, yeah. And he opens the door. He goes, hey, Todd. He calls their tour manager out. And he goes, you got another pass? Todd flips over his laminate, and there's a pass. I go, dude, literally. I looked at him. I go, nice. You holding out on me? He hands me the pass. I haul ass down the hallway, get in the elevator. Some guy in the elevator looks at me, and I go, it's a poster, because he's looking at me up and down about this.
Oh, but the tube still.
It was like a comedy. I didn't even give him a chance to ask. I go, it's a poster. Get down to the bottom, run out to the front lobby. I go, Jeff, I got a pass. Come on. You're going to go meet the band. Come on. So he hops up. We get back to the elevator where I just exited, and the guy goes, it's closed. I'm like, excuse me? He goes, yeah, it's closed. I go, no. Doug Feiger from the Knack that just played on the stage just sent me down here with this pass to take my buddy upstairs to meet them. And he goes, that's closed. I'm like, son of a. So I look across the way and I see Keith, the gentleman we talked to earlier. Yeah. I walk over to Keith. I say, Keith, I just got a pass. Doug Feiger, blah, blah, blah. He goes, go over there and tell him to call me. So we walk back over to the other gentleman at the elevator. And I said, wow. Keith says to call you or call him. So he calls him. I can hear Keith where I'm standing. He goes, let him up. I was like, so he gets us in the elevator. We go upstairs. We walk out, and there's this. Do you remember that, Jeff? There were like these 2 guys that were like together, and one of them, they were relatively tall and heavy set, had a big beard, and he goes, man, they just went inside. They were just here. They just went into the dressing room. We're like, son of a. So then. I always get it backwards.
You're breaking up now.
The bass player's name is Niles Prescott Niles.
Prescott Niles.
Right. So Prescott sticks his head out of the dressing room. And he goes, and I go, Prescott, what's up? And I said, I just brought my buddy up to meet up with Doug. Doug sent me down to get this pass. So, and he goes, oh yeah. He goes, come on in. And he opens the door. There's his niece sitting on the couch in the dressing room. We're like, what's up? And then we talked to him for a second. And then he goes, let me get Doug for you. Doug comes out. He autographs everything for Jeff. We get everything signed. He signs some posters. Yeah. And then I said, their drummer at the time was Terry Bozzio. The amazing Terry Bozzio, who was in Missing Persons. Destination Unknown was their big hit. And he used to be married to the lead vocalist of that band, Dale Bozzio. Uh-huh. But he was their drummer at the time. So I was like, I brought a Frank Zappa record that he played on. And I said, Doug, I heard that I heard he's kind of got the flu back there. He's not really feeling good. He goes, you know what? He's right back there. He's a real nice guy. I bet he'd sign that for you. So I go, you sure? And he's like, yeah. So I walk back in the back room and I was like, Terry? And he's like, hey, man. And super cool, signs my album.
Nice.
And we just had a great, amazing time hanging with them in the dressing room. And then they were like, we got to let you guys go. We got to get wrapped up. And we left. We got in the car at 12:30 at night from Chicago to drive back to St. Louis. Pea soup fog.
Oh man, yeah,
Pea
that's
soup
not
fog.
fun.
But that was our big night with the Knack, and I'm like, I'm not giving up until I get him backstage.
That was so
That
crazy because it was,
Yeah.
you know, it was cool enough just to see him after then. I think they'd been broken up for what, 8-9 years at the time, maybe longer, maybe 10. And so I never thought I'd see him live, let alone meet him. That was just crazy.
That is awesome.
Then years later, I hear about them coming to town again. They were going to come here to St. Louis, and they were going to play a free show opening for John Waite down at Union Station. And I said, Jeff, isn't it cool? And he's like, what? I said, the Knack, they're coming to town. What? I'm like, cool, I got to get you. I got it. I get to tell you. So sure enough, I hung out with Burton a little bit beforehand. And then we got there. Jeff and I show up. We had a friend. We hung out. We watched the band. And what did we do, Jeff?
What, afterwards?
Yeah.
So afterwards, we were hanging out, just waiting to talk to the band members. They were signing autographs. And I don't think we talked. I can't remember if we talked to Doug Feiger or not, the lead singer that night.
Yeah, I don't know if we did that time.
But Burton Avera, the lead guitarist, was there signing stuff. And I told us on another show, he was sitting there signing a boob. And and after he was done, we talked to him, and he said, you know any place to get seafood around here? Well, in Union Station, literally, there's a seafood place just, within walking distance. You could see it from where we're standing. So he goes, let's all go over there to Landers.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we end up having dinner with the lead guitarist. Like, what is happening here?
That is a really cool story, man.
It was so strange just to be sitting there eating dinner with them. Like,
Yeah.
I just wanted to see the show. I didn't realize we were going to have dinner afterwards.
We were the friends this time that had fish with Burton Avera.
Yes. Yeah,
Right?
we were friends
I was
with
gonna say, there's the fish dinner again.
And then my favorite part of the story. All right, that's probably not my favorite part of the story, but one of the funniest parts of the story is we get there to dinner and Jeff goes, man, I got to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, you know what? I do too. And I had a friend of mine named Lisa, and I don't remember her last name, but just a darling woman. And she was with us too at the show. And so we left her at the table with Burton, which I knew he wouldn't mind.
Right.
And we wouldn't even notice we were gone. And we went to the bathroom, and I said, can you believe this? He goes, I know, this is great. I said, what's next? A sleepover with Devo?
Hey, speaking of bathroom, I'm going to take a quick bathroom. I have to break the seal.
Oh, we're going to carry the show?
You're going to have to carry the show for at least 2 minutes. So
whoa. At least 2.
It's a lot of weight. I'll be right back.
I could just see that.
If I didn't have to really go, I wouldn't. But for
the last 3 weeks, he's been sitting there timing how long it takes him to pee. It's going to take me about 2 minutes, so I can leave those jokers on my show for at least 2 minutes.
Did the show freeze?
Well, it's been doing something goofy all night.
Oh, maybe because when you were talking, you started sounding like a robot, and then you froze. Maybe that was it.
Right. See, and
it was funny. I was like, I was getting ready to go to the bathroom, and I was like, well, I can't go now with Chuck gone.
Stuart's got me stuck with all these stories. I don't know when he's going to call me in. Yeah. So, otherwise, I've had moments with meeting Les Paul in Nashville. That was pretty damn amazing. Nothing like standing there and you look next to you and there's this 5'4" guy standing next to you and you're like, you want to pull a Chris Farley and go, you know who you are, man? You're Les Paul. But the worst part about that show when I was in Nashville, there was a bass player for Steve Morse, and just an amazing bass player. And he didn't have a roadie with him when he was there that night. And it was a whole night, a tribute to Les Paul. And I'm kind of on the scene to help because I'm working with the company that he's our endorser. And I go, and so he checks out. He didn't get a chance to have anybody check his equipment, and his pedal board's not working. And he's like, what the fuck? He's all mad. And I'm standing right there like trying to think I could even help. And he just grabs his board. He's like, bam, and he just throws it. I'm like, why do I got to be the guy that's here when he's having his worst moment? Because he was like uber cool dude.
That would be a good idea. A dating show. Interview 3 ladies for a date. Sure, why not?
Yeah, what?
I would do
can't
it.
believe nobody's ever thought about that. But yeah,
that would actually be pretty cool. A pause for the cause. Oh my God, it feels so much better. So of course I also grabbed another beer.
Very good. In fact, I should probably have another one myself. Yeah, no, for a music lover, I've been very fortunate to have lots of cool moments with musicians and stuff. And some of them are still here. A lot of them are still here, but some of them are gone. You know, I had a couple
about meeting the Knack. I mean, Doug Feiger passed away years ago.
Oh.
Yeah, that was an awkward moment for me because I found his phone number from when I interviewed him, and I found Burton's phone number from when I interviewed him, and I called Doug's phone, and he picked up, and I'm like, "Hey, man, how's it going? Stuart Johnson. We did an interview a while back, and I was just trying to get rid of some phone number things, and I didn't know if this was still good, and here you are." He's like, "Yeah, I'm pretty tired. I just got back from a chemo treatment."
Oh.
And it really knocks you out. I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's shitty, man.
So I didn't even know how to proceed with that. I'm like,
yeah.
He goes, "You may have heard I have cancer." And I'm like, dude, I don't think I was fully aware of that. And so, you know, his brother, what did his brother do, Jeff? What's he famous for?
His brother was a lawyer. He represented Dr. Kevorkian.
Yep.
Yeah, whenever we saw Kevorkian with his lawyer, that was Doug Feiger's brother.
Yeah. What was his brother's name?
I can't remember.
Okay. I didn't know if it was something like Dave or something like that, but
so
but
go ahead. Go ahead.
Probably one of my favorites. One of my other, I've got a bunch. I mean, there's just a bunch because again, I've been blessed, and this show is going well. The Hammer Away sessions. If nobody's checked those out, I can tell you a little bit quick about that.
Yes, please do.
Jeff and I talked when this whole Go thing came up. That was a brilliant stroke of genius he had, and us coming together and doing the show. And then my other big blessing was when I mentioned the Hammer Away to Jeff, and he just thought it was a brilliant idea to bring that aboard. So I really like that because it proved to me that he trusted me with, you know, growing our show. So that was, I'm going to start crying any second now, but that's not, no, it's, you know, it's true. It's true. I will cry.
And that's it for today. No, I'm just kidding.
So that's been coming along pretty well. It's Tommy was my first interview. I've got other people coming on board. I've had Mike LaPond now, my bass brother from Symphony X and Silent Assassins. I just did the interview with Keith Michaels from Tango Down. Check them out on Friday night. Cool. I did that. Tomorrow is Toby Jepson from Wayward Sons. Thursday is The Rumors out of Iowa. So check them out. They're a power punk kind of they're a trio. 2 gorgeous women and a dude named Daniel on drums. And then I got Doug Pinnick from King's X coming up too. So and then,
Jeffrey Feiger.
Yes.
Jeffrey Feiger.
Why didn't I know that? Thanks,
Thank
Shannon.
you, Shannon.
I was like, why did I not know that?
Oh yeah, Doug Feiger's from Detroit.
Yeah. Who knew? I mean,
Boom.
I did, but I just didn't remember.
So anyway,
make sure everybody subscribes if you have not subscribed to DJC Game Studios and to Go Game Go. Go Game Go.
Chuck,
and that's where you can see all of our Go Game Go stuff and all the Hammer Away stuff. They're labeled accordingly. So
I got a quick question for you, Chuck.
Sure.
Have you ever seen Grumpy Old Men?
I have. I mean, I barely. I think I might have saw it once. So
that's me too.
I wouldn't know it for you know.
Well, there was two. I can't remember which one this was. May have been the second one, but at the end, there was a character in the show called Chuck, and during the end credits, they redid a scene with Burgess Meredith, and Burgess Meredith kept telling, in the actual movie, he said this joke about Chuck hooking up with his woman, but on the credits, he was going through it, and it was getting cruder and cruder as he went. It was hilarious. But every time he goes, looks like Chuck, you know, and then he would say the punchline.
Yeah.
You should check out the credits of one of those movies one time so you can see it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I'll have to rewatch that because that's got my girl Anne Margaret in it.
That's who Chuck was going to see.
Yeah, she was still looking.
Was that the first one or the second one? Do you remember?
It's probably the first one.
But anyway, so I got and I'll try to make it quick, but it's because I know we're going on like almost
That's
2
not
hours.
what I told her.
Yeah. But I have I never told you the Rick Nielsen from Cheap Trick story.
No, but I'd love to hear it because I really want to talk to him.
It's okay. So mind you, this is I don't even know what year it was. Maybe 2001, something like that. 2001, and it was me and a few me and my buddy. We all there's like 5 of us in one house. We call it the band house. The group is from Detroit. They were called 20 Dead Flower Children. Really cool industrial metal band. Just really kind of, you know, early 2000s kind of, you know, when that stuff was just hitting big, and really good friends of mine, like brothers to me to this day. A lot of them are still out in California. But anyways, so there's 5 guys, you know, young, you know, guys. And then my one friend, Keith, he's a little older than the rest of us, but he was a big Cheap Trick fan, and he played in bands his whole life and still does. And he was like, oh man, he played all these videos of Cheap Trick. This just happened to be it couldn't have been a better perfect storm for what was about to happen. So he goes, only another 2.5 hours more to go to match Go Game Go on the original Next Level game. I'm gonna try to keep it at about 2. I didn't even realize it felt like it was like nothing when I was that's funny. But anyways, yeah, so we're at what we call the 20 Dead house, and we're all watching these videos, and he's like, oh, this is Rick Nielsen. He's, you know, the reason he's a great guitar player, but I was like, oh yeah, I know of Cheap Trick. I just never knew the in-depth. So we watched, I think all night, probably watched 4 or 5 different videos, and you know, next morning, me and my buddy Jason were going to meet. We knew the Insane Clown Posse, which I know you're just a huge fan. I'm just kidding. No,
yeah,
but I go. We were going to meet them because we knew them and their crew, and every time they're from Detroit, and kind of they came up at the same time. We were all doing music, so we all knew everyone. And so they said, you know, meet us up at the what was it called? It's the Key Club, which is the same club that used to be. It was featured in that SNL movie. What was it with they're doing this with their heads, the Will Ferrell.
Night at the Roxbury?
Night at the Rock. It was the Roxbury, you know, but it was the Key Club for real. And the next to the Key Club was the Roxy. Yeah. Was it the Roxy? Yeah, the Roxy. Yeah. And then, anyways, so there was just like a lot of, you know, cool places back then. And, you know, me being
down there and
the whiskey's down. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he's like, hey, he's like, oh, we're going to meet. ICP said they just pulled up over by the Key Club. Their tour bus is there. Let's go up there. So we drive down to Hollywood, which is like, I don't know, like a 35-minute drive because we're in like Orange County.
Yeah.
And we go there and and they're like, hey, we were talking for a second, and they said, hey, we got to talk to our lawyers about something, blah blah blah. So we have to have some privacy. Says, well, okay, we'll go down the street. You know, I don't know if it's that. I can't remember if it's Hollywood Boulevard, or if it's Sun. I think it's actually Sunset. Right there. Yes, and so we're like, okay, we'll walk down Sunset and grab some Del Taco or Jack in the Box or something, you know. And so we go down there, and he goes, and we're walking, and all of a sudden I see this dude in a suit, and he's got this long goatee, and he's got a steel guitar pick in his goatee, and I go, Jason, that's Rick Nielsen. He goes, bullshit. He goes like, that's not Rick Nielsen. I go, dude, I just watched about 5 hours of Cheap Trick videos. That is Rick Nielsen. And he's like, no, it's not. And the guy comes right up to me. He goes, you guys know the ICP clowns? And I go, yeah. I go, Rick? He goes, yeah, how you doing? Rick Nielsen. And I shook his hand, and I go, dude, I told him that I knew that was you. He goes, yeah. He goes, that's great and all. He goes, but I want to meet them. He goes, you know them? He goes, like, yeah, we're from Detroit. They're the same. We're this, you know, that we know everyone, you know, they're friends of ours. And he goes, yeah. You think you can introduce us? Cause you know how Cheap Trick is. They always make fun of themselves. Like they're not that great and all that. He goes, we have a picture that on our website of us sweeping up after they're cleaning their tour bus. He goes, so after that, and he goes, it was the funniest thing. He goes, and we dig their humor. We'd like to go see them. And we go, well, we can't right now. They're talking to their lawyers. And he goes, no, come on. I just saw you guys come off the bus. Can you? And I was like, no, I mean, literally, like they're having a talk with some lawyers about something. They have to have some privacy right now. He goes, yeah. He goes, and I thought he was being a dick, but he wasn't. He's like, he goes, well, F it, man. I guess you could have just said you don't know him. Thanks for wasting my time. And I go, oh. No, dude. He goes, I'm just messing with you, man. He goes, I understand. He goes, so what are you guys doing? And we're like, we were going to go grab something to eat. He goes, I go, you guys playing here tonight? He goes, we got a show at the Roxy, a little private show. We just told people on our fan, you know, in our fan club. But he goes, yeah. He goes, we're about to do a sound check. Want to come over, have a beer? You're like, yes. So, and then my buddy Jason's like, I'm going to go talk to them. They're on my, or I'm going to go over there for whatever he had to do. I'm like, dude, I'm going to go hang with Rick. So me and Rick went back to, this is the weirdest thing. Go back to the Roxy. You know, it's him and their, I guess, their family or their friends or whoever's, you know, at the time with them. Right. And I'm just kind of sitting in the chairs and they watch them sound check them. They're doing Dream Police and whatever else they're doing, Surrender. And they're just getting in a vibe, and you know, and we knew all friends. We knew the people at the Roxy back then at the time, you know, and it was just like, hey man, how you? They're like, you came here with Rick, and they're like, oh yeah, dude, we met him on the thing. They're like, oh, have a seat, you know, you want something to drink? Yeah, I'll take up beers, you know, and we just sit there, and we watched him sound check to the point, and he had all these. He threw those guitar picks, and so he gave me a couple guitar picks, and they have like his signature obviously printed on them. But it was from him, you know, and they were used from him. And he goes, here's some. And then he was kind of throwing them out during the thing. So I picked up like a handful of them, plus the ones he gave me, and I put them in my pocket. To this day, gone. They have no clue to that. Oh, yeah. This doesn't end well. No, but I know, right? And so I'm like, please, I'll give you my address. So then but it gets kind of weirder from here. Not like it's nothing crazy, but so. I'm like, all right. And I'm kind of waiting. And I'm like, well, now they're just kind of hanging out. And I hung out for like an hour, dude. And I was like, all right, dude, guys, have a good show. We'll see you. Cause I knew we were going to end up going to see ICP because they were getting us back, you know. And I was like, you guys have a good show. We'll probably come over here maybe later on. And I think we tried and they were already done because they had an early show and whatever. So I'd say 10 years later, I'm back home in Detroit and, Rogers Roost, my place. That's back when people used to smoke cigarettes and they'd come around. I don't know if you remember this, and they'd scan your ID and give you 2 packs of cigarettes if you were, you know, of the age. And then they'd have like Marlboro used to do this, and they did it like kind of did that over here. And they would give you like a free T-shirt, free glasses, you know, whatever, just a bunch of promo stuff from Marlboro. A free cowboy hat and a free horse. Sure. Well, they had this catalog. And they have Marlboro points, like the free Marlboro Iron Lung. Totally. You know? Yeah, I want saving up for that Iron Lung. That'd be awesome. and so So me and my buddy Al go. We're like, all right, and they go, hey, if you give us your ID, well, we're gonna sign you up to win a concert ticket, and it's Aerosmith, Seven Dust, and Cheap Trick simulcast over the internet live, and there's only gonna be like 50 people for each location. One's in LA, one was in somewhere else, and one was in Detroit. And I'm like, oh yeah, sure, sign us up. Back then, like I said, it wasn't really, people were still using phones and stuff. So yeah. I get this voicemail on my landline, and it goes, hello, please call this number back. This is Marlboro from Marlboro Cigarettes. You have just won 2 free passes to see the Cheap Trick live at the Royal Oak Music Theater. Wow. I'm like, no way. So we go down there. We're right up front because there's literally like even because some people didn't show up. So there's probably maybe 40 something people there. And it was like they had like candy stripers. By the way, cigarettes are the worst, dude. But at the time, they're carrying around like things, cigarettes. Anyone want cigarettes? Smoke them, smoke. It was like, oh my god, And at the time, I smoked cigarettes, so whatever. And
oh my Lord,
so they gave us like a full meal, like a high end meal. I forgot what we ordered, and they're like, we're about to go live. So this big giant projector screen goes up. And you see, and it's like, and it's Aerosmith. And he's like, we're live in LA. And then I see my ex-girlfriend because she's calls me and he goes, we won tickets on the LA side. I go, you got to be kidding me. She goes, I'm going to try to get on camera. And she's like, and then so we're right in the front, like, and Rick Nielsen comes out, and before they're about to play, he goes, hey, you. And I'm like, there's no way I'm like, he doesn't know who I am. And he goes, come here for a second. And I was wearing a hockey jersey that had this print of the thing you put inside of a 45 record, like the plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Little star thing, whatever. It was that logo on this big hockey jersey. And it was called Groove or something. I forgot. I got it from somewhere in LA. He goes, I've been trying to figure out that symbol since I walked up here because they played a couple songs. He goes, what is that on your jersey? And I go, dude, it's the plastic piece you put on a 45 record. He goes, that's what it is. And then they started into their song and their live feed. And I was like, what is with me and Rick Nielsen? That was only the story. Like, it doesn't have the greatest ending, but it was so weird. Like, I always ran in to talk to Rick Nielsen from Cheap Trick. Super nice guy, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's my son and I got to go downtown and hung out backstage at one of the rib fests downtown, and Blue Oyster Cult was there one year, and he's taking pictures. My son's taking pictures. We got to be on the side stage and everything. We're hanging out backstage. I don't even remember how the hell I got backstage. I don't know. It's weird.
I've seen them here.
But I bump into Eric Bloom and I shake hands with him and I'm like, hey, how's it going? I said, I literally looked at him. I said, we've met like 8 times, but I don't know why you'd remember me. But it's so weird. I'm just like, yeah, he doesn't remember who I am. I'm like, what? I think I may even looked at him and said, maybe I ought to kick you in the shin or something. There's that ass from St. Louis.
Give me right double poke in the eyes. He'll remember.
I always wonder, like, and I was never one to, I guess because I saw a lot of that on the other side of like I call it the other side of the stage or whatever, but I was never one to like go up and like attack someone and go, hey man, oh my god, dude, and because I've seen it, and then I know that most musicians are, I mean, I didn't like it. I mean, I'm no big musician, but I also like I maybe because I'm no high end thing, but when I remember having a fan that I thought was the coolest. I was playing a show in Orange County, and this kid comes up to me. Well, I say kid, but I don't know. He's like 20 some years old, and he comes up. He goes, oh my god, dude. He's like, I kind of snuck out. Like, my girlfriend was sick, and she said we couldn't come to the show, and I just said, hey, I'm going to grab some food. He goes, and I came to the show to see you because I was like, no way I'm missing you on stage. And I'm like, dude, that is freaking awesome. But wow, you should really go back and see if your girlfriend's all right. He's like, oh yeah, she's got a bad flu, but I need to come to the show. And I'm like, my God, that is dedication.
Oh man.
Like, I like stuff like that. You know,
Yeah.
I know some bands get some really obsessive fans that kind of go a little too far, you know, and go, hey man, so what's going on? So, oh, is this your family? Oh, great. You think I could, you know, it's like, whoa, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I was always around a lot of these bands too. And like I said, my time hanging out with bands, well, it went from like the early 90s all the way into the mid 2000s. And I'd say kind of fizzled out by maybe 2005, 2006. Wow. It's when I kind of, hey, look who's in the house.
OEBP. And Renee, have we seen Renee yet already?
I'm trying to, I don't know if that's I know like many Renees. I think I know what Renee that is.
I know. I got a Renee book. I know lots of Renees.
It's my first one, Pete. How am I doing? We've only yet scratched the surface at 2 hours.
Yes. Well, that's like Tommy making.
Oh my God, we really are at 2 hours.
Tommy making a joke out of how long. I said I got a lightning round. He goes, "How long do you think that's going to take with me?" I'm like, yeah,
right, yeah, with like the 20-minute answering.
Yeah, I've done 3 interviews, and the lightning round has gone 3 different ways. The first one with Tommy went like an hour. The second one took 30 minutes. The third one was pretty much the whole interview was my lightning round. Me and Keith just kept talking about stuff based off of my lightning round. I'm like, okay, I don't know. I have to figure this out.
So I probably should bring this a little bit to a close, but
sure.
not without our final topic, and that is, what is your most anticipated Amico game from what we've saw, or even one that we haven't saw? Let's open it up to what you really want to see come out on this system.
Well, Turbo Derby is really huge for me because I really enjoy that over the top, that bird view racing from Super Sprint, and
Nitro Derby.
And
yeah.
Nitro. Well, but I mean Super Sprint, you know, and yeah, Nitro Derby. Is that what I said? What did I say? Turbo Derby?
Turbo Derby. I was going with it.
Ass.
We had Tom here. Anyway, we should have just said, hey, can you guys just change that name? Because no one can remember.
Just change it? Because this is what I remember. So, I mean, I sent him a CD. I think he could just change the name. But I think that's one of my favorites so far of what I've seen. Jeff, what do you think?
Man, that's a tough one. When I saw the updated Astro Smash, I was like, okay, that's gonna be the first one I play. And I don't know. I've just seen. I kind of go back and forth with different games. I'll tell you what, it sounds goofy, but one of the games I want to play first is Cornhole. I want to see if it works right. You know?
Right.
If the physics are down, I think that's going to be a great game.
Yeah.
And even the what's the last video they had? What was a video? It was a very short video. Bomb Squad. That looks like a great multiplayer game.
Yeah.
Because everyone's got to work together to defuse the Amico before it. Oh yeah, and Lance Jennings mentioned Night Stalker. Oh.
Yes, I know. I was thinking Night Stalker too.
Yeah, so, I don't know if I Bomb Squad. I think Bomb Squad's going to be the breakout title for them, or stuff similar to that style. I really think that's like makes that machine to where. And it is kind of going back to kind of like the Wii. Like I talked about in a previous video I did about, I always went to back when the Wii was out, I was always, if I went to a party or went to my girlfriend's house at the time and they had some people over and everything there was always someone with playing Wii bowling or Wii golf, or, you know, and it was like, I think this will be one of those things like, hey, you guys want to grab 5 players and try to defuse a bomb? You know, I think I think that might be a really like a really good, party. I keep saying party game, but just a really good co-op game that might take over. It's like having that electronic board game on the TV, you know, just something where everybody can. Because my family's really big into like board games and trivia games and stuff like that. I think something like that where you can get up to maybe 8 people playing. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to Bomb Squad as far as their breakout title. But my favorite, I cannot wait for, and they haven't even said any. You know, I mean, I know they're working on one, but it hasn't shown anything. I don't think it's to that point. But bowling, I want bowling. And Astro Smash is the one I'm going to play right out the box. That's just a given.
What do you think bowling's going to be like? Do you think it'll be side view?
I mean, obviously when it throws on I almost want like, this is me and no one's ever going to agree with this, but I almost want like a old school looking one, like almost to the point where, or even have the option to pick the big purple blocky guy from the original Intellivision that kind of ran like that and bowled, you know. I thought that would just to have that as an option, I think would be funny.
I forgot about that.
But I loved the old bowling, and I remember you'd roll the ball and it looked like a football because they did for some reason they didn't make it round. I don't know why, or if they didn't just trim those sides. But I don't. But I love it to this day. I'll still play it. You know, I really love that game. So, but bowling's going to probably be my top. Although Astro Smash I already know is there, so that's just a given. And then MLB I hope to see more of soon.
Oh yeah, that's another one I want.
A good baseball game.
Is that your that your Dr. Seuss moment for the day?
Oh, did I rhyme?
MLB I hope to see. MLB I hope to see. How about that?
MLB I hope to see.
Do you think Bomb Squad could be the 6th game? I'm just thinking of it. It's like the perfect game to show off the Amico because they said it uses everything in the controller. Every single.
Yeah, I think it does. I think you're doing your voice, your sound. Yeah, oh man. Well, they haven't announced that they have a 6 pack-in, which I'm guessing is going to be something like that. Because they still have emoji charades and another. What was the one he talked about? Where you're drawing the pictures and it ends up becoming something that's totally different at the end. It's a popular board game. I can't remember the name.
Oh, I don't remember.
That Tommy said.
That sounds familiar. I don't remember the name of it though.
But it's something not illustrations. Telestration. No, that's
Illustrated Turbo Derby.
Crow says Telestration.
Illustration Turbo Derby. That's what it's called.
Turbo Derby.
I don't know.
Does anyone remember that in chat? If we're anyone
Crow just said Telestrations.
I know. 6-pack game is Backyard Party. Oh, Telestration. Sorry, yeah. There it is. Okay. Yeah. I don't know why I have to kind of refresh my chat. It doesn't show everything usually. Yeah, so I think those type of things are going to make this console. I think that's. I love how people are like, oh, that's who is this for? It's not for anyone. It's like, dude, you just watch. First of all, you're going to have your thing for the kids. You're going to have the things that the parents are going to like, and you're just going to have that. Like I said, when the kids go to bed, the parents are going to use the console too. Yeah. Just like back in the day. That's just how it was.
Yeah. Yeah. I love. I mean, I'm huge on the. And I don't know where. I don't know why I suppose I don't know why the market doesn't understand it, but evidently Tommy and these guys all understand it, that there's a lot of us who don't have a ton of time. We're doing different things, and that's why I like Rocket League. I can pop on, play a couple games, get out. So when the kids go to bed, the parents can hop on the game system, play a few games, and get out and go to bed.
That kind of reminded me of again, we're talking about Rocket League. It is that one. Well, you guys, because you guys are always playing that, and that's what that Space Strikers kind of reminded me, like a Rocket League snafu in space kind of thing. But it's kind of those things where you just play per round. Right. It's not like a long game. You're just playing per rounds and trying to get wins. And I thought that was really cool.
Well, and let's face it, Jeff and I are dying to see whatever the reimagining of Warlords is going to be.
Oh man,
I mean
that'll be good.
What is the one? Oh, I have a Wizard of War in my garage right now.
You think they'll have more than 4 player for Warlords? Think they'll bump it up to 8?
How
would
you play that? I mean, I just don't know how the.
It's kind of like what was it, Cloudy Mountain, where they said they decided 3 was the max because once it got past 3, it wasn't really that much fun anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So they bumped it back down to 3, so it would be maximum fun.
Yeah.
So you guys, is everyone convinced that this is it? This is the date? 10/10/2021?
I think so. Yeah, I think things have let up enough to where that should work out. I mean, I sure hope so. Unless like some crazy.
It feels different this time. I mean, you got the stuff with GameStop going on.
Yeah.
And that never happened before.
I want one of those signs. I gotta go find GameStop and be like, hey, you got one of them signs with that summer release date? I'll go ahead and take that from you. No, I haven't been in a GameStop, to be honest, in a while.
I haven't.
I mean, most of my stuff I usually go online, so
right.
But the fact that they got that and see that, I wouldn't mind going in and asking, just seeing what they know. Be like, hey, what's this all about? And seeing if they go, or if they go, oh yeah, Wizard of I have a Wizard of War in my garage. The only thing is the tube, someone busted the back of the tube off, so that's trashed, and they ripped all the boards out of it, so it's just an empty arcade cabinet, and the boards will cost more than what I could sell the whole thing as complete for. So unfortunately, I'm not gonna restore it. But I am gonna use that Wizard of War cabinet to make my own cabinets, if that makes sense.
Well, it does to an effect. I mean, is there a way? How much does something like that cost you? Here's my idea. I'd love to get, because I have a speaker cabinet in the other room that doubles as a refrigerator cabinet, and I want to make a door that looks like that has the cloth, the speaker cloth.
Yeah,
and because that's what they used to do with these Ampeg cabinets, is they were on stage with like a country artist.
Yeah.
And the artist would go over to it and had a dual handle. It would have a handle on the outside, and then there would be a track system on the inside that would that had the refrigerator door hooked to it, pull it open, get a beer out of there. So it looked like a big Ampeg speaker cabinet. But I would just wondering, wouldn't it be cool to have like even a useless game cabinet and just put some shelves in it and put liquor in it or something?
It's not a bad idea. You know what? That wouldn't be a bad idea to have it to hold like a bunch of games, like a shelf like that. Yeah. Like cut it down to where it's just about a good 6 to 8 inches deep and just kind of put it on there. I never even thought about that. That's a really good idea.
Take the monitor out and put a fish tank in.
Yeah. Yeah. You're like, how do I play this game? Is this Shark? Is this the new Shark? It's really, it really looks amazing. It's so, you actually need them. Okay.
This is the more family friendly version called Goldfish.
Goldfish. That's the other one. I wonder how that, we've seen only a little bit of Shark. I'm hoping that ends up being a pretty fun game.
Yeah.
I can't remember if that was 4. Does that do 4 to 8 players? Could you imagine 8 fish in that tank? Oh my goodness. That'd be fun. Everybody's trying to like nip at each other and you're all running around bumping into each other. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah. So let me know if you the new scene, he said semen. That's gross. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Let me know if you've got some really crazy cheap price on a cabinet that's not gonna.
Well, most of the cabinets like I'll get, I usually try to get it. It's usually because they're beyond. I mean, if it's something where like I pick up something like a Pac-Man or like right now I have a track and field, which goes for a decent amount. Unfortunately, it's the one with the track balls, which is not really sought after. Usually, you want the one with the buttons, so you can take a pencil and cheat.
God, track and field. I used to play that. Oh my God.
Track and field, but I have that one, and there's just something scrambled in the board, but it's all complete and boots up. So that I'm going to have fixed for maybe a few $100, but maybe I can sell it for a couple thousand or $1,000.
How much does it cost you to get it?
Oh, I paid like $300 for it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I found it in a lot of there's this bar that a guy was like, I'm getting rid of my arcade games. I've been sitting here unplugged for a year, and I go, do any of them work? He's like, none of them really boot up right now. And he goes, $300 a piece. And I looked, and that's when I found the Tempest, and I was like, oh my God, Tempest. It's like a $2,800 game, maybe more, and I go, I always wanted a Tempest for myself. I'm like, yeah, I think I'll do that, And so I got that one, and I got it fixed. I spent some money to get it fixed, but I'm keeping it. And then I got Track and Field and Wizard of War in the same lot, and I'm like, but so Wizard of War is going to end up being gutted and painted and turned into a multi-machine and sold, which people hate me to say, but it's not worth me fixing it up, and it's not a game that I wouldn't mind having it, but I have enough. Like, I need to make some money, so it's going to be
right.
And it's not worth it for me to get. I would make nothing pretty much off of it if I restored it. So it's kind of, unless you really love that game and want to keep it, it's kind of a. I'm not gonna. I would probably have to put $600 or $700 into replacing everything.
Right.
And the machine, and they're going for me. If complete, they might be going for $500 or $600. So it's kind of like I'm going to break even and do nothing. It's like I'd rather make $800 and sell it as like a multi game.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, and put almost nothing into it. But
well, what I probably ought to do is just come up with the dimensions of the sideboards. Just get some MD. What do they call that?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Is I want to like trace up, because the Wizard of War cabinet's actually really small, like a little slender cabinet, and it's just like the perfect size. I'm like, I think from this point on, MDF or plywood, and I'm just gonna stencil out the sides and the front pieces and the bottom, and I'm like, why can't I just throw together my own cabinet?
Yeah, and then I could just
and you can make it into anything you want at that point.
Right, and then I could just print out all kinds of games, Intellivision, arcade, whatever, and just collage the thing. Yeah, with all the video game artwork.
Yeah, you could even do the marquee with whatever you wanted. So if you say TurboGrafx or Intellivision, have it light up, and then have all your shelving with all those games in there. Yeah, that would be amazing.
Or just put it up there and say arcade bar.
Yeah.
And then just put shelves in it and put liquor in it.
That would be cool too. That would be pretty awesome. Bar.
Damn.
Well, we are at the 2.5 hour mark, so I am going to call it.
Yep.
Time 9:18 p.m. No. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone that's still in chat. I appreciate it. Please subscribe to DJC Game Studios if you haven't already. Like Lance Jennings always says, smash that like button, and please go over to GOGAMEGO and subscribe to them if you haven't already. And smash their like buttons. Just any random one. They'll love it.
Any random ones.
Just a random like button in any video. All the videos.
I won't even get crude about that.
But
yeah, so
thanks guys. I really appreciate it. We'll talk once we go off air too. But
keep your eyes open. I think I'm gonna do my best to try to get a quick history of Wayward Sons out tonight. So keep your eyes open for a hammer away tomorrow. It'll be 3:30 Central in the afternoon, which is 9:30 p.m. over in the UK. Toby will be talking tomorrow night. Jeff and I have an open chat on Wednesday. And then Thursday, again, I'll be talking to the Rumors from Iowa for another chat. And then I think we're off on Friday. And then
Tuesday, I'm on Papa Pete's channel.
Excellent. What time?
7 p.m. Central, 8 Eastern, 9 Papa Pete.
Well, hopefully that's the 23rd, right?
No, tomorrow.
Oh, that's tomorrow.
16th then. Right?
So,
yeah.
Cool. So you can tune into both of us. I'll be done, somewhere. It might be a long show. There's a lot to talk about with Toby. So, and he and I, we talk. That's what we do. So it'll be a great, great show. So you're on tomorrow night. That's awesome on Pete's show.
We're talking old TV shows that we grew up with.
Oh, that's awesome. I'll be chatting in on that.
That will be fun.
Yeah.
That's always a good one. I'm sure there'll be some WKRP in Cincinnati. There it is. He already pulled it out.
I'm so happy you got that. Now it's time for me to order it.
You know what's funny is it came in this morning, and Silly went and got it. She goes, "What's this box?" I said, "Something Christian ordered our son," and so she just put it in this other box we have sitting here. And so later, Christian was walking out. His stuff showed up. And I was like, "Wait a minute, that's all your stuff?" He goes, "Yeah." And I go, "What was in that box?" And he opens it up and he goes, "It's something. It's WKRP." I was like, "You gotta be kidding me!"
You're like, yeah.
It almost got lost, like forgotten about. It was just thrown in a box. And
Do you need me to get you some more tissues for the house?
I'm just glad we found it.
Oh
So
man,
I guess that guy wasn't lying. He said he mailed it off and it said it got delivered somewhere, but it wasn't even in the same municipality we live in.
oh, that's hilarious.
That was only like about a week after I told him he got it to me. So that's not bad.
That's great. I'm glad you got it, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right,
Yeah,
all right,
so-
everyone. Make sure you subscribe to all these channels. Thanks to the whole chat. Make sure you go out to GameStop and pre-order a Galaxy Purple Amico while you can, because they are limited edition, like me.
Aw.
And more tab on its way. Thanks to Shannon.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing.
I cannot wait. Tab. We'll see you guys later. Thanks.